gamers, welcome back to a brand new DSP video. I do want to apologize. The last video, my computer was acting odd. It was being really dumb for some reason. I don't know why. And usually I don't want to force shut down a computer, because it's bad. It's bad for a computer to do that. But it just didn't work. Like, I shut it down for like the longest time before. Normally, I told it to shut down normally, and I turn it on, and it's like acting really odd. And then it got to the point after I did that video, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna force shut down the computer because I don't know what else to do. And now it seems to be working as it should now. So hopefully I don't have to do it again, but I think that's why my video was fucked up. I'll try to skim this video to make sure there's no issues, but I'm sorry that last video was dumb. I was thinking of unlisting it, but then someone said that they just put my videos on in the background, so I'm like, I guess you don't need to see me in the video. Like, there's nothing visual there, for the most part. I mean, it is what it is, but I'll try to see if there's anything wrong with this video, but I don't think there's gonna be. Before we get into what I want to talk about this video, there was a shout out of sorts that I was made aware on Twitter a few days ago, and man, you guys probably already know, but I'm just gonna play it for me.
Give you shame when you eat one. Is it a forbidden fruit? Give me your Theo theories.
Theo theories, guys. This like blew my mind that I got to listen someone who's not even like a detractor channel, a troll, whatever, say Theo theory. Like someone said that, oh, it's a Gundam said Theo theory, Theo. I'm like, okay, I mean, like, that's pretty funny. I just thought it was funny just innately that, like, some of these people who don't know me exactly, and they say, which is fine. I mean, Theo theory is just a fucking saying, right? But it is wild to me that it reached even like outside that sphere. Like, it broke past that. It is truly insane. Like, when I saw this, I had like 10 thoughts racing in my mind. I didn't know how to respond to this, in the sense that, like, first off, Theo theory it was something that I came up like on a whim. Like, it was literally the video I first said it was when I thought of it. Because I was like, yeah, I speculate a lot. Just to be funny, I should say this is a Theo theory, and that was like the level of thought was, Theo and theory have the same letters. It's just, how you spell theory, correct? So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll just do that. That's funny, whatever. And then it just kind of went from there. Now, if you told me back then that this would have like this amount of legs, I wouldn't believe you. It's truly like a wild reference to begin with. Now let's go through the comments. Would anyone even know? Oh, someone did. Oh man. No, this guy's actually giving a theory. Like, dude, imagine if someone says, like, what's Theo theory? Why did he say Theo theory? Like, that's what is, like, blowing my mind. That's, like, rattling me. It's, like Theo theory was something that's, like, oh, yeah, just say something crazy and, like, no, not crazy. You know what I mean? Like, you're just guessing or having a theory as to what's going on with DSP or whatever. The fact that someone who, like this is just saying Theo theory so casually about fucking Donkey Kong or whatever the fuck, it is like, I don't get it. It's insane. It's insane. And I said this on Twitter. DSP is gonna be forever known as the guy who fapped on the internet. Well, my legacy is just Theo theory. I gave the world Theo theory, guys. But this does go into like what I've said about DSP. So this is, I guess, a mini little segment here about this. Because I was thinking about this the other day, and it kind of like proves a point in the sense that you can't control what the internet will remember, what lasts, or whatever. Which is why, like, when DSP goes on these weird rants and tangents about meaningful content, oh, I leave on meaningful content, or he tries to get people to stop talking about things like, oh, the FAP. We all moved on from the fappening, guys. Nobody cares that I fapped on the internet or whatever. Like, when he does that kind of shit, that's not gonna do anything because nobody will care at that point. Like, the more you try to steer people into what they should move on from, what they should remember, you're gonna get the opposite. Like, I've said Theo Theory in my videos, just whatever, and then people just naturally on their own decided to use it as well. Which, what am I gonna do, right? Like, other people can use that all they want because I can't control that. I can't control what people can say. Now, I could say personally, like, if I decide like, I don't care about Theo Theory anymore, I could simply just move on and not talk about it. Then time will do the rest. But if I keep sitting there and like saying, guys, don't say it, guys, stop, I'm just gonna look like a tool and nobody will take me seriously, and it's just gonna go from there. Like, you can't control what other people will remember you for or anything, and that could be for better or for worse in a lot of cases. And DSP trying to control that it will just forever like hurt more than help. To say that nobody cares that I fapped on the internet, guys, right? Nobody cares, or whatever. Like, you can't control this aspect of what is carried on, and that's why people should kind of, obviously be careful what they throw out there because you don't know what's gonna stick necessarily. The fact that Theo Theory has reached this level is kind of like gonzo to me. Like, how, like, imagine you're watching this dude and some random guy says Theo Theory. My Theo Theory is this. Like, you're like, what do you say to that? Like, what would you say? Like, let's say you don't know who I am. You have not watched a video of me. You're not a detractor. You don't care about DSP, whatever. And you watch like a random YouTube video, and they just throw out Theo Theory. What are you going to even like say at that point? Like, what are you gonna like think? I mean, for the most part, you're probably not gonna care, maybe. But like, I don't know. Like, this dude's talking about Donkey Kong. They say Theo Theory. Like, I'm really man, man. Does anyone even like? I'm so confused about that. Like, it's kind of funny. Like, this is what like kind of proves why I think it's funny when people use it in a way. Just for me, it's like, this guy doesn't know me. I don't think he even knows my channel, but he knows Theo Theory. Like, that is kind of funny to me. But what if he's my number one fan? What if he watches my videos, dude? Oh man, but that's crazy, crazy shout out of nowhere. Like, it is so crazy to me that I woke up and then I see this. It's like, huh? Like, wild. And like, it's crazy to me. But you know what? I guess you know who has the real meaningful content, Doob. I got a softball in my head. It's probably just just a reference that he's thrown out because, from what I'm to understand, Matt McMuscles or whatever has like brought up other DSP memes in the past. So if he's aware of these other DSP memes, like, you're not gonna be too far off from running to Theo Theory here and there. But it's just wild. It's just wild. Like I can't get over. He's doing a Let's Play video or whatever, playing Donkey Kong, and then just says Theo Theory. Like, my dumb fucking meme that took no thoughts has infiltrated more deeply. Well, I mean that's a exaggeration, but it had more legs than any meme that DSP tried. Like think about that for a moment. DSP says that he's such a funny guy and creative. How come none of his dumbass memes have like been referenced by other people? Like, how many people are you gonna watch that like references a DSP meme? I mean that DSP made. Not a lot. If anything, the troll memes get more clout than the fucking ones that DSP made. Like the squeezed banana that DSP tried to like make his own wasn't even his own. He said it on the stream and never capitalized on it. It took the trolls to capitalize on it, and then people like laugh at it for DSP to then capitalize on it. There's no originality or creativity from DSP, but the detractor community around him have made more of an impression on the internet than DSP has. Like on multiple levels, both like good and bad, whatever. But there's at least something that people can like look at and laugh at or whatever. Nobody's gonna like watch like because it's his memes. The stuff that he comes up with is hats, vests, poop, and food, cartoon character noises, jowl shaking, like. But these are things that other people have done in the past. Like scat stuff has been around longer than DSP has. So that's not even original. Like DSP really doesn't offer anything. And then when he tries, it's just miserable. Like it's not it's just funny that Theo Theory was something that I just threw out there, and it has found ways to gain traction for multiple things. But what has DSP done that has gotten traction in anything? You know, trolls have uploaded remixes, fan art, all these things that are far more creative than what DSP has done that is interesting, that people like talk about. Like Theo Theory it's like the only reason why it has even gotten any traction is because people throw that around to speculate, which is a natural thing people do for anything. Oh, my Theo Theory as to why Arc System Works is doing this is for that, for X, Y, and Z. Like it's that kind of usage. I mean, it's weird, I guess. I mean, when you think about like, you know, but at the same time, it's like just a saying people are using now. Like, you know, it's like when I say fucking Akka, which is a Mega 64 meme, because a guy in a video said Akka instead of AKA, and that has wrecked me because I keep saying Akka is forever for me now. I say it wherever, and that's what happens. That never happens to DSP. Never. It never does, and it never will. Like the fact that the only thing that people will remember him by when he dies is gonna be that he fapped on the internet. As much as DSP wants people not to do that, that's what he'll be remembered from. That and being called a game journalist and all this stuff, which is kind of adjacent to this is how you don't play stuff. So it's like that is not even new. It's not even new ground. But those two things are always brought up in tandem. Like either people like, you know, it's crazy to me how DSP has such little impact when like all the stuff around him gets more attention. But let's get on to this video. We're talking about his opinion on DK Bonanza. But this was a great start. It was a 14-minute warm up. It was just a warm up. Let's get on with the video.
Get to the topics at hand. Let's talk about the state of Nintendo and the Switch 2.
Right.
Okay. Nintendo hasn't always had the best console launches. Let's put it that way.
I mean, this isn't like new territory. Multiple consoles have bad launches. Like, it's not even new for Nintendo to have a bad launch or a bad console launch. Like, has any company had like consistent back-to-back console launch successes? Not really, in my opinion. I mean, the best you can get is like, solid. Like, you could get a solid launch, but there's always someone that will have a better launch, right?
Switch 1, when it launched, also did not have a super stellar lineup. In fact, the best
But it didn't need a stellar lineup. It had Zelda. Like, it had, like, the thing about Wii U, like, I get it. Like, yeah, it was on the Wii U too, but, he's not really understanding that the big selling point of the Switch was the hybrid nature of it. Like, you have this big Zelda game that you can play at home and on the go. Like, that was enough for people to clamor for a Switch. Like, that's what it was sold on. Now, you could argue that, that same trick would not work on Switch 2, which sure, but again, people would buy a console to just future proof for when other games come out, right? Like, we've talked about this when he talked about the Switch 2, so I'm gonna try not to be redundant on this.
the best game for Switch 1 at launch was Zelda Breath of the Wild, and that game was also on the Wii U. So it didn't matter if you had the Switch or not, you could still play the game. That's not much of a system seller. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they sold it on the portability.
I remember that first year
whatever.
of Switch, like, I didn't really feel like the Switch had anything good until Mario Odyssey. Seriously. Like, I remember, I thought Breath of the Wild was good, but I was
Okay.
playing it on Wii U because my Switch had broken. Then when I got my Switch back, I got a new one. I played games like ARMS, and that game was a humongous, ridiculous, underwhelming joke.
But like ARMS was just a tech demo, basically, just to show off the Joy-Cons. Like, that's why it exists. But whatever, okay.
The game was just not good. It didn't have enough content. The online play was not, it was just stupid. The game was bad. It was supposed to be a competitive game, and it wasn't. It was a pretty broken
How does
game.
he know it was supposed to be a competitive game? Like, I love that, like, every game that has multiplayer, these people say, oh, it's competitive. Well, Forza has multiplayer, and he doesn't play that competitively. Okay.
Game that didn't really have much substance to it. I'm trying to remember, all the different things that I played that first year, but the only game at this point, in 2025, here we are 8 years later, the only game that stands out in my mind was Super Mario Odyssey. And that was like the flagship title. You
But
know
that
what I'm
wasn't
saying?
I don't think that was a
It
launch
was the
game,
one
though.
that I loved absolutely every moment of it.
Okay.
I kept playing it, and every stream of it, I wanted to play more and more. I still I remember, though, notably, when I was playing it, I was loving it, and the audience was not. This audience.
But it's funny though. Like, he made a big deal at the time that he played Mario Sunshine and then Mario Odyssey, and he was like saying, "Yeah, you guys are burnt out on Mario. I played Mario Sunshine, and now you guys are Mario'd out." But we are now magically forgetting forgetting that part of the story.
This audience, I hate to say it, guys, you guys are just not in love with first party Nintendo. You never.
I love he said this. I love he's telling us, guys. I hate to tell you guys, but you guys don't like Nintendo games. So then why did you buy a Switch 2? Now, and then on top of that, he's playing Mario Kart. He's playing Mario Kart every week. But they hate Nintendo games, yet they supported him for Metroid Prime. Not Metroid Prime, Metroid Dread. They supported that game. And then now they're supporting Mario Kart World. And he's saying that they don't like first party Nintendo games. This is all based on him not hitting one goal. DK Bonanza, he played 2 times, and one of the streams he didn't hit the goal. Now, he did not hit the goal playing GTA 4. Does that mean that? But he's not gonna say that, oh, you guys don't like GTA 4, and he didn't cancel any streams of GTA 4. He's not even dropping it. But DK Bonanza misses one stream goal, and DC's like, I guess you guys despise Donkey Kong. Wow, you guys hate Donkey Kong, and it's like, dude, it's one stream. And I love that, like, this dude also, like, was pressuring his audience to, like, make up for the week he missed, and then, like, wants him to hit the goal every stream, and doesn't think that maybe this is gonna make people not support other streams. And then, like, it may not even be the game anymore why the support is low, but he refuses to acknowledge that that's the case because he's like, well, there's a lot of people watching me, so like how is it that like other people can support or whatever? But he's not understanding that a lot of these goals that are being hit are like a lot of them are because of people who give him like just enough. I mean, it may not even be one person. It may be like two people giving him $20, $50, whatever. But eventually that's gonna catch up to these people, and not all of them are gonna contribute. Like, even if you go by his narrative, he doesn't think that maybe like the people who give him the big tips may not support every stream, and maybe some streams may underperform because of that. Like the people who can afford to tip him like $5, $10, whatever, they may do that, but like other support may go down as well. Like it's a balancing act. Yet this guy is like, no, it must be the game. Okay.
You never have been. I have been. It's whenever I play a major first-party Nintendo game. So
Again, if he knew his audience didn't like Nintendo games that much, then why did he go through the trouble of buying a Switch 2? Like, he tells us how I would not waste our time with stuff that you guys don't like, dude. You guys don't like Nintendo games. Guys, I need to buy the Switch 2. Now, he says, of course, oh, I have to cover unboxing the console. I mean, arguably, console unboxings is not as popular as they once were. Like, nobody cares because there's enough channels that are already doing that. Like, he doesn't need to be the 1000th channel to do it. And even when he did that for the Switch 2, he complained about the views. Like, Switch 1 unboxing, I can't really be bothered to care since he was going through a lot of shit at the time. Like, he was laid off from Machinima. So, of course, we were going to be more supportive, and he also started accepting bits and shit. But whatever, okay.
for example, Super Mario Wonder, or a new Kirby game, a new Smash Brothers, a new Mario Kart. You get hyped for like one stream, and then for some reason,
But he got the goal for every other Mario Kart stream. Now he doesn't. Now he can't.
the audience just kind of like falls off and isn't that interested. I don't know why. I love these games. I find them very entertaining and creative.
It's funny that the Nintendo rants like this also kind of parallel the JRPG rants. So maybe it's just not like the specific genre. Maybe it's just the game, or maybe it's how he plays it. But he can't take responsibility. It has to be the game. The game does there's a lot of heavy lifting for this guy.
And creative and fun, but in general, my audience has just never been in love with Nintendo. In fact, I think of all the game playthroughs I remember of doing Nintendo, the only one that I remember people loved all the way through was Super Mario World Co-op that I did emulated on PC.
Shocker! The playthrough where he had John Rambo was the popular one. Shocker. It seems that his audience loved John Rambo more than DSP, and they just kind of tolerate DSP in hopes that John Rambo will show up again. Why the fuck does he have Hagar, by the way? Like, what does Hagar have to do with anything? And that's like the game over, whatever. Okay, anyways. But they also supported Metroid Dread. But of course, Metroid Dread was like dangled as a hostage. Guys, if you guys don't support Metroid Dread, I'm dropping it, guys. Guys, this is do or die for Metroidvanias. And then like people carry that playthrough from start to finish. And then we had the fake ass roleplay LARP of, yeah, guys, give me feedback. What Metroidvania do you want me to see me play? And then like they gave him all these games, and he would just kind of like, and then like later on, said, well, actually, you guys showed me I could play Metroid, but I guarantee you, when Metroid Prime 4 comes out, he might hit us with the, guys, you don't like Metroidvanias, guys. I'll play Metroid Prime 4, but if you guys are bored, I'm gonna drop it. It's gonna be one of those playthroughs.
Because it wasn't even available on a console back in the day, and that was like 12 years ago.
Whoa. Wait. Super Mario was not available on console when he played it on when he emulated on PC. I kind of don't believe that. I kind of have a hard time believing that. Maybe if it was just the GameCube era, yes, but if he had the Wii at the time, which I think he did, Super Mario was on the Wii, all of them. I don't believe this. That's huge X to out on that one.
Like, that was the best one that I've ever did. Outside of that, I think I remember everyone would always complain. You know? I don't know.
They voted for Mario Sunshine, and then when he kept delaying it, people complained, and then we got the banger. I just want to wring their necks. That's what DSP said on a in a daily rap. No, not daily rap. A weekend preview. It was a Christmas themed weekend preview too. He was wearing a Santa hat and everything.
I don't know why. Well,
Don't
for
know
me,
why.
I grew up playing Nintendo. All right, Nintendo was the game console, whether it was any.
Yeah, he only likes Nintendo because gamer cred. Guys, I'm a gamer. I love Mario. Aren't I a gamer? Like, if I want to convince you guys that I'm a huge Persona fan, I would say I love Persona 4. But since I played Persona 3, a little bit of 2, 4, and 5, I can tell you I am a Persona fan. Persona 3 is the best one. But if you guys didn't know me and I didn't like play those games or stream those games, I could easily have told you, yeah, I love Persona. Persona 4 is great. And then like you guys would have to believe me because it's such a fan favorite. Like that's DSP logic right there.
NES and then Super NES. It was the one that everyone wanted. It was the one that had the best exclusives. It had the best graphics. It had revolutionary controls always. I loved Nintendo when I was growing up. That was
How were the controls were not revolutionary. Like I don't think anyone described these controls at that time as revolutionary. They just this is cool. Like whatever. They're controls.
was the thing. That was the console you wanted to be playing. All right. Now, Nintendo just seems to be this weird, like, elitist club. Kind of like what Apple used to be.
This is such a reach. Like I know what he's getting at because there are like Nintendo drones that will literally like will dive in front of any criticism for Nintendo. As petty as it could be, like you could say like, "Oh, I think Nintendo's kind of has some anti-consumer practices." They'll say, "No, how dare you say that about Nintendo? They're amazing. I love overpaying for things or whatever the fuck." Like I get that aspect of it, but I would not. I also wouldn't say they're the same as Apple because, at least with Nintendo shit, like that kind of like fanboy loyalty has kind of only been relegated to online discourse. But again, you'll get all kinds of crazy fanboys on the internet. You'll find them anywhere. You'll have people like look at a blade of grass in Horizon and be like, "Oh my god, look at the blade of grass in the game," and then like they'll die on the hill of defending grass graphics or whatever the fuck. But Apple, I have seen this kind of like loyalty and like nonsense in person. Like I've seen people like in reality like kind of like do this, but at the same time not to the extent that DSP says about them either. Like he kind of like he kind of looks at the caricature that South Park would have and then say that that's true, that's realistic 100% when it's not, obviously. Like this dude is probably the easiest dude to be propagandized, the easiest guy out there. Like if you tell him, Phil, people who love automatons, they all they all I can't think of something now. Damn. They all eat grapes. They all eat grapes. DSP will say they all eat grapes. Yes, that's 100% true. I believe it. And he'll go on his merry way believing that until the day he dies. Oh man.
But now Apple is falling off and no one really cares that much about Apple anymore.
I care about
But
Apple.
that really seems like I wouldn't be shocked if all of a sudden in every mall there's a Nintendo store and they sell Nintendo used to be, but now Apple is falling off and no one really. Now, Nintendo just seems to be this weird, like, elitist club. Kind of like what Apple used to be, but now Apple is falling off and no one really cares that much about Apple anymore. But that really seems like I wouldn't be shocked if all of a sudden in every mall there's a Nintendo store and they sell Nintendo Switch 2.
Like he's not like ready to like have the discourse of like one aspect that people like about Apple, and this is a user thing. Like this is like how subjective it is, I guess. But if you have like Apple products, like the amount of like, hey, I can do this on my computer, I can then move it to my iPad, I can move it to my phone, I can do this, I can do that. Like it is very handy, and it's kind of like cool. Like the fact that I get to use my phone as a camera is kind of nice. Uh, like it's that kind of like so that people are now discussing that they like about Apple products. Like it is kind of like a cult in that sense where you are just buying the products because you like the environment of how these devices communicate with each other, whatever. And that's kind of what Nintendo's doing with like the Nintendo Music app nobody uses, the Switch app on the phone, like the Nintendo Day app. Like they want their own like infrastructure for them to like give out media. Now you can say that's dumb and stupid, and that is like there is a lot of like criticism about how Nintendo does about some things and how stubborn they are about this, about the stuff that they're doing. But DSP is conflating people who are writing off his criticism because they're petty criticisms. Like I can't take his criticisms like that seriously when he literally complained that Nintendo released games on Fridays. Like he literally bitched about how dare Nintendo thinks that they can release a game on Friday at the end of the week. That's stupid. Like he bitched about that. Like it was like around the time when Star Fox Zero was coming out. That was kind of when he started to bitch about it because it inconvenienced him. And it's like, but now all these games come out on Thursdays and Fridays, and he doesn't care. He's like, "Oh, this is so cool and amazing." I mean, the Nintendo Directs are also proof of this. Nintendo does these Directs. DSP shits on them, hates them. Sony copies them, Microsoft copies them, and now he's like bouncing up and down for that. But he shat on Nintendo for doing the same thing. But he gave Don Matrick props for thinking about digital distribution before everyone else did, but didn't give Nintendo props for being ahead of the curve with or the curve, whatever, with the Nintendo Directs. Like he did not give them an ounce of credit for that. And this dude's like, I don't know why people like shit on me for my takes on Nintendo when they're just petty. Like there's stuff that he can't be right about, like Nintendo releasing the Switch OLED, and then the Switch 2 doesn't have an OLED screen. Like yeah, obviously they're gonna make a Switch 2 OLED, but that's like low-hanging fruit. Like you don't really need to have a brain to come up with that one.
And Nintendo games and Nintendo accessories, and they repair your Switch console, and they lock you into service contracts. You know what I'm saying? Like,
when has like what are these service contracts? Like, I mean, I guess you could argue the Apple Care. Maybe that's what he's talking about. But that's like, but a lot of companies would offer that. Like, they give you a factory warranty and this and that. But like, service contracts and all that stuff is like, yeah, of course they're gonna want you to pay these things, but you get, but they're kind of like decent deals. Like Apple Care, to a degree, from what I've seen, it is kind of a decent deal if you're willing to pay that, because if anything happens, they'll just give you a new device. Like that is kind of useful. I mean, and it's like forever. Like it doesn't run out. Well, I mean, you know what I mean. Like it runs as long as you keep the subscription going, but like it's not like, oh, you're paying for like 1 year and then that's it. Like you're paying until like you want to stop. But whatever. Like
if they even went that model, like Apple did, I wouldn't be shocked. It just seems like.
But the reason why Apple made those things is because they want people to be loyal to their company. Like he acts as if like Apple did this stuff to generate a cult, but they did these things to make people feel like that feel loyal and like, hey, I bought an Apple computer, something's wrong, I'll go to the Apple store to fix it because these people are like they work with Apple devices and all this stuff every day. They would know more than like Best Buy or whatever. Like they do these things for customer loyalty and like and like clarity, I guess, or whatever, and to keep people coming to their business. Like it's just for loyalty. Like you don't have to. Like you can buy Apple products wherever and all this stuff. Like there's other issues with that. It's just the idea, I think, is just that they want people to keep coming there. I mean, you can argue all you want about that, I guess.
That's what's happened. Is that Nintendo has just become this group, this club that you need to join and understand. And if you're outside of the club, you look at it and you're like, well, I get it, but I just don't get it.
I get it, but I just don't get it. That doesn't make any sense. I get it, but I don't get it.
You know, you understand that, sometimes there's a great game, sometimes there's a new console with an innovation, but you don't understand why people go so crazy for Nintendo, right?
So you can't understand why people may like a Nintendo game. Like, this is kind of more of a DSP problem. Like, this is kind of like what he's complaining about is that he's upset that he doesn't understand why other people have different opinions. Because, like, yeah, there's a lot of like fans that will white knight and glaze up everything, like, but at the same time, like as much as I shit on Persona 4 and I hate Persona 4 and this and that, I do see why people like Persona 4. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and say like, yeah, I don't get why people like that. It's a cult. Like, no, it made people like it made people more aware of Persona. I think Persona 4 is kind of where it got more mainstream or started to get a more wider appeal. Which is why I think a lot of what I liked in 3 is not in 4. Yeah, I said that. And that kind of like it kind of goes on and on, like from that to Persona 5 to even what they did with Persona 3 Reload. It was just this ongoing path of them trying to widen their market by doing what they did with Persona 4. So it's like, I get why people like Persona 4 and what made people like get drawn into that game. I don't like that game because it's just bad. I've talked about Persona 4 1,000 times, but like, DSP is seeing people like who love DK Bonanza and is like acting as if like it's unheard of for people to like it. Like, whatever.
Right? You have to understand that Nintendo used to be insanely huge, the biggest game company
Now,
in the world.
this is why I'm kind of doing this video, and I understand like it's kind with these kind of videos, it could easily come off as me saying how dare DSP shit out, like not like a game that I like or whatever. Like, I understand that this is a very easy pitfall. But the reason why I find these takes like ridiculously bad is that he talks as if it's like that he's the authority, like that he's gonna wake us the fuck up and realize that DK Bonanza is not a great game. And I kind of think that's kind of a crazy tone. Like, I have seen people say that, like, I've seen some people say that's bad. The most I've seen Retro, shouts out to Retro, but he has said that the game is he doesn't like the game, which is fine, I get it, but he brings up DK64. I think that's a bridge too far. Like, I can understand he may find it mid and he doesn't like it and he may be bored. He may prefer Mario Odyssey. Like, those criticisms I understand, but DK64 is like that's a reach, in my opinion. I played DK64. To say that's the same is I don't know, that I can't wrap my mind around that. But I would not say that like either that. But he didn't talk like as if he's the authority of what DK Bonanza is and how people should look at it. Like, when DSP talks about his disappointment with the game, it's always in the light of, guys, I don't get what's going on with Nintendo. They did this and it seems everyone is eating it. Everyone is glazing the game, but it's bad. And I don't get it. They all must be cult members. And it's like, that is a crazy state, like, outlook to have.
World, they were synonymous. People didn't say, I need to go play video games. They would say, hey, I'm going to go play some Nintendo. Seriously.
DSP loves bringing that up, but this is because it's like Doki Doki Panic is Mario 2 level of like reference that he loves to bring up. But the reason why, oh, I gotta go play my Nintendo now is simply put not because Nintendo fell off. It's just that people understand that there's other consoles out there. Like, it's more than just Nintendo out there making video games. Like, nobody, like, back then in the 80s, yeah, it was like Sega and Nintendo was the one that was more recognizable. So, of course, it's My Nintendo. That's why it lingered from the 80s to the 90s. But in the 2000s, when Sony entered the ring, Microsoft entered the ring, like, people are like, yeah, this is, like, more than that. Like, that's that's why it changed, not because Nintendo fell off. Like, but whatever.
That's what they were, the name drop for video games. So you have to understand that. Now today, things are very different. You got a million platforms, including PC and other competing consoles, and now you got mobile devices, and then you got these hybrids like the Stream Deck and shit like that, and everyone has different ways that they.
Yeah, but who brought the idea of having a portable console like the Switch, right? Nintendo. Like, the Steam Deck came after the Switch found success. And Valve has been running with this idea. Like as much as I like the Switch 2, I do think the next Steam Deck that's gonna come out is gonna like be crazy, and I think that's gonna be a worthwhile upgrade. In my opinion, because I think Valve is starting to understand the like. I mean, think about this. Valve has had interest in like releasing home console versions of Steam, and that kind of came and went and fickled. But the Steam Deck, despite all odds, because before the Steam Deck even released, people were like rating it off because of how lukewarm and like forgettable the home console was for Steam. Same with the Steam controller. Nobody has talked about these things that Valve has put out, and then when they announced the Steam Deck, we were like, well, this could work, but I mean, they may just like fizzle. But it released and it exploded. Like it's been so successful that now it's like, yeah, the Switch 2 can't like really be successful on its own anymore. Like Nintendo needs to start to take this a little bit more seriously than they are, even with the Switch 2. Like there's a review of the Switch 2 that I think is a good review. I've mentioned this YouTuber before, Nerrel, Nerrel. He reviewed, I mentioned him in the Tears of the Kingdom video, but his review of the Switch 2 was actually really good. It was actually I liked a lot of the criticisms he had because they were actually like interesting. Like I did not know. One of the chips that they put in the Switch 2 was like, yeah, this is a new chip when the Switch 1 was like new. And this is an old chip right now, and like they should have done something a little more like forward with this. And I agreed with a lot of his criticisms. Like they were actually pretty good criticisms. So check that video out. He has a lot of good points about the Switch 2. You only play, but this is like, keep in mind, only with Mario Kart World when that was out, he didn't get to play, he didn't do DK Bonanza yet. But it's a good channel. I like his channel. Pretty good vids.
The game. I don't think anyone is saying I gotta go play Nintendo. They're saying I gotta go play video games, right? So they don't have that name recognition anymore, but they still.
No, they still do though. That's not what name recognition really means. Name recognition is just that if you go, it just means how many people can recognize it. If I show someone red hat and blue overalls, guess what they're gonna think? Mario. Like anyone can pick out Mario in a lineup. Like name recognition doesn't come and go. It stays. Like that's what makes it funny when you see like multiverses try to be the thing that's gonna like take over Super Smash Brothers. Meanwhile, Super Smash Brothers has more of a name recognition and cloud and all this stuff more so than multiverses. That's gonna go away like very quickly, like it already did. Like, hello?
Still have this very intense, rabid following from a certain group of fans and gamers that think that everything Nintendo does is the absolute best on the planet.
Again, this is only focusing on like the diehard Nintendo fans and all this stuff. Of course, there's gonna be people that will just sing praises about Nintendo all the way forever. Like, that will always be the case. But DSP is so committed to wanting to be special. All this is DSP wanting to be like guys, like if you kind of see this with how he discussed what he would have been on Lolcow Live with Kino Casino, where he has this hard on for being the normal guy, the straight guy, where he's sitting there and is like, whoa, this is weird. And all this stuff. So like when he talks about like Nintendo like this, he always focuses on like the extreme fans, like, wow, like it seems there's a lot of people that love Nintendo, even if they shit on their mouths, dude. But it's like that's like a percentage of Nintendo fans. But there's still people who like Nintendo games and are critical of them. Like, yeah, I like DK Bonanza. Yeah, I like the Switch too. That doesn't mean that I I think that what they're doing is perfect. Like, I do think it's a bummer that the screen, like the size of the screen is good. The fact that it's not OLED is bad. Like, I will criticize that because it's very clear that they're gonna do a Switch to OLED, which I have said this when people have demanded a Switch Pro. Very simply, I would not want Nintendo to do that because it, with the 3DS, they did that new 3DS and it was a nightmare for games. Like, oh yeah, this game is exclusive to the new 3DS. And it's like, oh, okay, like I can't even play it on this. Like, that's kind of dumb. And I would not want them to do these like 0.5 consoles. They should just make a whole new console at that point. Uh, like, that's why I was against that, because it would lead to like bad decisions, and that's what the Switch OLED did. It's making bad business precedent because there's gonna be a Switch to OLED, obviously. So it's kind of like, that's where we're at with this. But this dude is like just focusing on the Nintendo fans, but like, again, he hyped up this podcast where he just wants to talk about his opinion on DK Bonanza and this and that. He said that he slept on it after he did the DK Bonanza video, and now he has more to say. And the stuff that he said is dumb nonsense that is not really relevant, in my opinion. Like, he wants to talk about his take on the Switch 2. Now, to a degree, I'll be very, very minor in the charitability here, but I do think that there is kind of a slight change in how Nintendo's handling these console launches and all this kind of stuff, and all this stuff, because like there's some areas where they're like kind of entering new ground. Like, they focus a lot on like performance, which Nintendo doesn't really do at all with their consoles, but it doesn't go all the way with this. Like, there is this weird ground where they're trying to kind of please the people who want a higher performance, but also kind of please people who don't care, but also be like, yeah, this is a family console, so it can't be too expensive. Like, it's this weird middle ground, and it's like, it's not really focusing on what Nintendo does good at as much. But I think the games still kind of have this feel to it where, like, I've been playing DK Bonanza, and I've been loving it, and I do see why I do see why Retro may not like it, but I think it's still cathartic. I love the destructibility in the game, and just the energy that's in the game. Like, it's just been like very relaxing and fun. It's a Strand style game, dude.
And that their shit doesn't stink, and it's hard to deal with that. It really is. It's just
listen to this. Listen to this.
Think that everything Nintendo does is the absolute best on the planet, and that their shit doesn't stink, and it's hard to deal with that.
So he's complaining that it's hard for him to deal with other people who may be fans of Nintendo, or may not be as critical as Nintendo as everyone else, blah, blah, blah. Like, why do you care about what these other people think, then? Like, if he thinks that DK Bonanza is a mid-game, or, like, this is what I've said about DSP, and this has been like a running issue with DSP that I had with DSP when he has these kind of rants, is that he spends too much time thinking about how other people enjoy things, or their opinions on something, and how their opinion is different from theirs. Like, maybe he shouldn't care about that, right? Like, because if you start thinking about how other people think about other stuff, you're gonna just go crazy, and you're gonna be miserable. Like, why think about that? If you think DK Bonanza is a mid game, focus on that. Focus on what you think about the game. But he always like kind of like says these statements that are widespreading and kind of like not necessarily antagonizing, but maybe instigating, I guess. Where it's like, you didn't need to say this to convey that, right? Like, he could have just said, I think the game is kind of dull. I've liked Mario Odyssey a lot more. I just don't think this game is that great. And that could make sense, but he always says, like, he always brings up other people to shit on the game, basically. Like, why?
It really is. It's bizarre because I've now been a YouTuber for 17 years, almost
And
18.
he's saying he can't handle that. Like, this dude is like in his 40s. He can't handle other people have differing opinions. What a thing to admit. What a thing to admit. Dude, there's people who like the game and I can't handle it. Wow, man, you're so mature.
This fall will be 18 years I've been a YouTuber, okay? And I've seen highs and lows. I've seen good and bad, and I'm always honest with you guys about that. I've seen Nintendo do some amazing things, and I've seen them do some boneheaded dumb things as well. I feel like I should be able to talk about it, but it seems like whenever you come out and criticize Nintendo, it's as if like you're committing blasphemy and now, you need to be burned at the stake.
But again, he's conflating how people respond to him when he shits on Nintendo, but look at the track record. He has always shed on Nintendo. Like it's just been a part of his streams at this point. Like it's really why people don't believe him when he says I'm a Nintendo fan. Like, and especially like the fact that he's like, dude, I am a Nintendo fan. Look, I have a unlicensed Nintendo shirt. It's like that. Like, I mean, is that supposed to convince me? Like that's kind of like what a person does to tell a kid. Like, yeah, man. I like who tries to relate to other people, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that kind of shit. Like, you're trying to say that you're relatable, but you don't mean what you're saying. Like, dude, I'm a Nintendo fan. Look, I have a blue spiny shell behind me. But it's like, this is merchandise for anyone to buy. Like, but he complains about all this stuff, and it's the same thing. He's trying to convince us, or he thinks that in order to be honest, you have to be negative. Like, he can't fathom that you could also be very positive about something and be honest about it. Like, people are saying this game is great, I love this game. They can't possibly be honest because they are clearly being paid shills because they're praising the game. Because it's impossible for you to praise something and be honest and praise it. In order for you to show you're honest, you gotta shit on something. So it's like shitting on something to prove that you're honest. Be critical is to be a fan. Like, what kind of logic is this? Like, it's fine to be critical, but at some point it's insufferable to be like, yeah, I like this thing, but they did this wrong, they did that wrong. Oh my god, like, you just sound like you hate Nintendo, man. Like, move on. And he acts surprised when his chat, like, thinks that he hates Nintendo. Like, if we're watching a movie, I'm like, oh my god, this movie, man. And I do this, you're gonna like, do you want me to, like, stop the movie? No, don't stop the movie. I like it, man, it's fine. I like the movie. Oh, I can't believe this. Like, you're gonna wanna, like, not watch movies with me again. Like, and that's the energy DSP puts out. Guys, I love Nintendo. My god, this game is so boring. I love Nintendo, guys. Oh, I mean, and then if you tell them that, so you want me to be overly positive? Like, dude, are the only options to be a whiny baby or to be an overly positive person? Then maybe you should. If that's the only option that you have, maybe this isn't the profession for you, because you're streaming video games. Like, do you think it's kind of like conducive to be miserable while you're playing a video game? Like, you can be critical of it, but you don't have to be a fucking negative Nancy that's like, oh. Like, I did not like Persona 4, but I don't think when I streamed it that I was sitting there like, like, I tried to have fun with it, and I was just like, kind of playing the game. But I'm not saying like, oh my god, like, oh my god, Teddy said something. The only time I was miserable was fighting the fucking baby. Like that part, I will say that part, I kind of was feeling miserable about that. The rest of the game was like, whatever, I can play it, but the fucking baby, that boss fight made me just want to, like, fucking hate Persona 4 a lot more. Like, it really was like, maybe I'm not hating the game enough. Like that boss fight is fucking trash, and I the only way the Persona 4 remake could be good is if they remove the baby completely, remove it. Dumb dungeon, dumb boss. That boss will trigger me all the time. Fuck that baby boss. That baby is terrible, terrible boss fight. God damn, like that is the one boss I can rant about, which I am already doing. But god damn, man.
But I'm just speaking truths here. You
See,
know,
I'm
things that
speaking
I'm seeing,
truths.
factual observations. What's wrong with that? Whoa, you're just a hater. You don't like Nintendo. No,
Yeah, because all you do is complain. Like maybe when you're streaming the game, maybe you don't have to like fucking sit on the game all the time. Like it's not conducive for a stream to do that. Like you're not gonna want to watch a streamer just be miserable unless the whole point of the stream is see me suffer.
No, I do like Nintendo. That's the problem, is that I actually really like Nintendo, and I like to see them succeed. I said that Super Mario Odyssey was the best game of 2017, and everyone told me I was wrong. But I don't care. I liked it that much.
People were saying he was wrong because they liked Zelda more, basically. And they disagreed with him. And like I like Mario Odyssey, but I thought it was kind of like it was all right. But there was a lot of stages that I didn't care about. Like the I think there was like a cake world. I did not give a fuck about the cake world because at that point I want to get to New Donk City, and then like after that it was whatever. I liked the Bowser castles. I liked the ending, but like all the good stuff was like at the end game. Now this is kind of like the other issue with this, that this is also kind of unfair what he does here, because he compares DK Bonanza, which he at this point he is 6 hours into, to stuff that happens at the end of Mario Odyssey. Like that's kind of unfair because you didn't get to the end of Mario Odyssey within 6 hours. Like no, you didn't.
So now, 8 years later, it's the next console launch. We're a month and a half in, and I am completely and utterly underwhelmed at this point. All right. I am. Like, I'm watching this game, I'm playing it, and I'm like, what is going on with Donkey Kong Bonanza? I'm playing Mario Kart, and I'm just frustrated that this is what's happened to this franchise.
The
Like,
stuff that no, I don't know if he said this before, but I'll just bring it up here. He keeps saying that people like stop playing Mario Kart because of the lag. That's not why people stop playing Mario Kart. It's very simply like the sandbagging. I kind of think is kind of silly because I feel that's the game plan for every Mario Kart ever. Like you can complain about the balancing, sure, but I kind of don't get that problem because people have done, because that's how Mario Kart has worked all the time. They always give you the good items at at the end of the game. But the problem that people have with it is when you do the Grand Prix online and you pick a random select, they throw in the transitionary courses, the courses that are in between the two major courses, and nobody wants to do that. They just want to do like the 3-lap races. They don't want to do these. They don't want to do these weird tracks that are not a full 3 laps. And I get that, and I do think that like the Grand Prix should not have that because Knockout Tour has that, and it makes more sense in Knockout Tour. I don't like that they threw them into Grand Prix. I think that should have just been the normal stages, but whatever. And that's why people stop playing it, not because of lag or anything like that. Like that's not why people are dropping the game. And even then, there's still enough people playing the game to find matches. So like it's not even like that embarrassing of a drop off like it is for other fighters like Mortal Kombat 1.
like, what happened to the days when you could buy a new
And
Nintendo?
even then, like Nintendo's never been a company that's been known for their online multiplayer. Like how does he know that everyone dropped playing Mario Kart? Maybe they're playing it offline, maybe they're playing with their friends. Like it's like Nintendo does it's unique in the sense that it has such a wide player base that the online discourse around them doesn't reflect the reality of people who play these games. It's not just the people on Twitter, it's not just people my age, his age. There's also people who are like younger than us that are also playing these games that don't care about the meta or the item balancing or anything like that. They just want to play a game with Mario in it or whatever. Like it's a wider market now, and there's a lot more people playing these games, etc. Like it's kind of like ridiculous to say that Nintendo fell off when they have a wider audience than like a lot of fighters, just comparatively. Like you compare Nintendo to like any fighter, Nintendo has a bigger player base, which is borderline unfair, but fighting games have a more like not niche player base, but it does have like a more narrow player base because you're not gonna see like an 8-year-old, a 4-year-old. Can a 4-year-old play video games? I don't know, like like a grade schooler play Street Fighter or Guilty Gear. They're gonna play Mario. So like it's a whole different like landscape, comparatively.
Nintendo game, and first of all, whenever you bought a new Nintendo game, it was like a magical moment, kind of like when a new big Disney thing would happen back.
This kind of man, this shows his age because I was born in the 1990s, guys. The only Disney thing that felt like an experience was Pixar movies. Everything else, not so really, not so much. It's like okay, Disney, whatever. That might have been a thing in the 80s because I think but again, like that still kind of happens. I mean, it's kind of funny how the thing with Disney gets diluted by the Disney adults, but like at the end of the day, Disney still is a family name. Like there's a lot of things I don't agree with Disney, and there's a lot of things about that company I don't like, but everyone's like, I can't put like the Lilo and Stitch movie that is garbage because it butchers the meaning of the original movie and all this stuff. But people are acting as if they're surprised that it broke records. Like I'm sorry, like it is a shitty movie and it doesn't replace the original, but families were gonna go see that movie regardless. Like I kind of think people are fooling themselves if they thought that movie was not gonna do numbers. Like all these live action movies do pretty well, not critically, but just audience wise. Because guess what? When you have a kid, you're not like kids are not fucking film critics. They're not like fucking. They're not looking for a fucking artisan movie. They're not going, oh, what's I want to see. Daddy, take me to Father, take me to see Erdington by Ari Aster. I love his films, and take me to go see Odyssey. Like they're not gonna do that. They're fucking 5. Like they're gonna be taken to go see this. So like this comparison is kind of silly in my opinion. But even then, like people can argue that that it's still a special moment to play a new Nintendo game. Like I kind of felt that playing fucking Donkey Kong Bonanza, but this dude is such a consumer though. Like he got so hyped unboxing a console
Back in the day. Like seriously, Nintendo was synonymous with video games like Disney was synonymous with like a new movie or a new franchise or something that was happening, right? And so a new Mario, a new Donkey Kong, wow, a new Smash Brothers, a new Mario Kart, a new Kirby, a new this, a new that. You get super pumped for it. And then you would play it, and those early hours of wonderment when you're playing something new.
But this is also like a different like situation, what's going on in the world. Like businesses change and they try to adapt. Now I also want to bring up, because he's gonna walk into this eventually, but what is the number one criticism DSP has about game developers releasing their games? They don't space out their games. So get this. This company releases 5 games in a month. You think that's gonna like sell? It's cannibalizing each other. So Nintendo decides, okay, we're gonna release games separate. We're gonna space out the games. And guess who hates that? DSP. See, this is why people don't think he's a DSP fan. That DSP is a Nintendo fan. Nintendo does what DSP says game developers should do, and it's wrong. So then they shouldn't space out their games. Okay.
Amazing, and it truly feels like it's
Fools.
something original, right? And now things are just so different. Even today in 2025, you can't even trust Nintendo to come out with an amazing first-party experience because
Like
we now have 2 of them.
a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this is the old man yelling at clouds," but like, I have seen people say the same thing. Like there is some disappointment with Mario Kart World and this and that. Like, I'm not gonna necessarily say that like DSP is wrong or to feel this way, but at the same time, it's like the issue I think that it runs into is it's too generalized of a statement. Like a lot of people say like personally, like, yeah, I don't really like feel much about these games. Like, I don't think this is a good launch, whatever. But DSP is saying this as if he's an authority on game launches. Like, it's kind of like it makes you want to disagree.
Them, and in my opinion, they're both pretty underwhelming. All right? With Mario Kart World, the graphics are outstanding and the controls are fine, and it's nostalgia bait with the music and the track design. But you are literally done with the game in 3 hours. There's nothing else to do. And they charged $80.
I mean, the price is whatever. I agree. The pricing is like the pricing makes no sense. So I'm not gonna defend the prices. But I'm just gonna say it's Mario Kart. Like, what did you expect Mario Kart to be? And like you could argue that the $80 is to entice people to buy the Mario Kart bundle, which I guess is like, a known tactic any company would do. They always try to sell you bundles that are cheaper than the actual thing, whatever. That's why season passes work so well, right? But DSP is saying this, but it's like, oh my god, sorry, my nose is like really running. I don't know, it's like distracting me, but it's Mario Kart. It's a racing game. Like, the only like long Mario Kart game that you could play is like Mario Kart Double Dash, and that's simply because they have an all cup tour. Like, I'm not gonna compare Mario Kart 8 because Mario Kart 8 have DLC, so it had like an unfair advantage, I guess. But like, Mario Kart games have always had this amount of content. But whatever.
For it, as if saying this is the biggest, best Mario Kart ever. And it actually is one of the most underwhelming. The online play is abysmally bad, with people literally just sitting around using overpowered items to win. There's no skill to the driving that people use. It's just
this thirst of skill. Like, I kind of like roll my eyes when I see people discuss skill level in fucking Mario Kart. Like, I get it. Like, I allowed it for Super Smash Brothers, and I could see it in like fighting games. But when you're playing Mario Kart and you start discussing like, actually, the items are a little bit unbalanced, I would have it this way. Like, I get the criticism for the most part, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, what are we doing here? Like, this is like, come on.
just item use. And the open world is a complete waste of everybody's time. There's nothing to it. They should have been good, but instead, it was just a big disappointment. The only reason I'm still playing it once a week is because Knockout Tour mode is kind of fun to be doing these tethered games together, or tethered.
So, like, I love he says he has 3 hours, but he doesn't include the online mode part of the playtime, right? He's playing Knockout Tour every week. Like, this is like me saying like, well, the story mode in Guilty Gear Strive is only 4 hours long, so the game is 4 hours long. And then I just omit the amount of times I played online multiplayer in that game. Like, dude, I got like 1,000 hours in that game. Like, come on.
Tracks together is what I meant to say. And having this ongoing kind of feeling, can I make it? Can I survive to the next part? Can I make it? Outside of that, the game is insanely boring. And I can't believe that they sold it for $80. It's actually an insult to gamers to say that game had that much value.
I love everything he does. Link is an insult. It has to make it negative. Like, yeah, it's overpriced. Again, I'm not going to defend the price point because again, the prices that they've done for the Switch 2, like, I understand. I think at some point they were saying that they want each game to have like its own price. Like, you're not committed to like having a price. Like, whatever. I just think it kind of opens the door to nonsense. And I think this is a nonsensical price point, like $80 for Mario Kart World. Like, I don't know. I just think like but this has been an ongoing debate about game prices for years. Like, it's not exclusive to Nintendo. We also don't know the full impact of tariffs just yet because Trump keeps delaying them. So I don't know. I don't know if these new set of tariffs are gonna happen or are gonna do anything, or is he gonna delay them again. Like, nobody knows what's gonna happen. Uh, but even then, even tariff aside, like, game prices have been going up anyway, and technically, like, not to be that guy, but the amount of money that goes into the game development is a lot of money. Like, and at some point, like, something's gotta give, right? It's just whatever. Like, I don't know how else to describe it.
Actually is worth around $35.
This shit. This shit is nasty. It's disgusting. Disgusting, even. I hate when he does this shit. When he thinks something is not worth it, he will undervalue it so hard. So he sits there like, yeah, Mario Kart World, oh, it's not that good. It's not worth 80. I think it's worth $35. It's like, what makes you say it's worth $35? Like, like, what about the detail in the graphics? What about the online server capacity? What about, like, all this other stuff? Like, what if the game gets ongoing support? That's not gonna be worth anything? Like, that's worth $35? Like, that's kind of crazy to say. Like, if he said $60, $70, I'd be like, okay, I get it. But saying $35 is the same she does when he plays any other game. Oh, this game, it's okay. It's not worth 60. I was saying worth 20. He has said this about a lot of indie games that are worth like $25. He'll say it's worth $10, and it's like, what metric does he use for this? I hate when he does this shit because it's so clear he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. The only metric he has is the length of time, which is not a good metric to have, by the way, because that's not necessarily indicative of, like I can make a game that's a bunch of stick figures, and I can make the game go on for like 50 hours. Is that worth $50? No. But if I make a game that's like hyper realistic, stupid amount of animations, and it's 1 hour, is that worth $1? No. Because, like, there's a lot of amount of work that goes into that. These are extreme examples, sure, but it's just the length of time is not it's not a good metric. Because it's very clear you're saying, well, the game is 3 hours long, $10 an hour, and maybe some change. The $5 is for the online multiplayer, a little sprinkle on top. But it's like, this is not a adequate measure of what a game is worth. And this dude is saying this because he wants to dogpile Mario Kart. Like I can't take you seriously when you're sitting there saying, yeah, this $80 game is worth $35. What metric are you using to do that, dude? Okay. Like, it's really like, yeah, Apple products are overpriced, but to say that, like, the iPad Pro is worth like $50 or $100, I'd be laughed at. There's no way the iPad Pro would be worth $100. Like, that would be like, you'd be losing money as a company if you sold it for $100. Like, that's insane. But yeah, if it's overpriced, probably I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know how much the hardware costs to build, but I would not. I'm pretty confident in saying $100 would be underselling the device off the bat. That's just me though. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm an Apple cuck and I don't know any better. But I call me crazy, call me an Apple cuck. But I think $100 for the iPad Pro would be a very low price that would not make Apple any money to even make up the cost of the development of it.
So now let's talk about Donkey Kong Bonanza. All right, again, I'm not going to reiterate everything that I said yesterday.
But he is.
But
He's
the graphics
to.
are great. Even though there's some frame rate dips, they're not that big of a deal. The controls are good. Once you're getting further into the game, the music and everything is good. The problem is this. The entire game of Donkey Kong Bonanza is item collection. It's a collectathon.
Man, I kind of get what people are saying about it being a collectathon, but I kind of think it's kind of insidious in a way. And this is why I don't agree with the DK64 part. DK64 had dumb shit to collect and dumb requirements, like, oh, play the original Donkey Kong to completion to get the Nintendo coin. Fuck that. Fuck that. That's garbage. But you have like blueprints, music notes, coins, bananas, balloons, individual golden bananas. Like these are things that are insane, and these are all required. DK Bonanza, the stuff you can collect is stuff you don't even need to do. Like the bananas are for skill points. You could completely ignore them and get basic amount of bananas and beat the game probably. Uh, the fossils are just currency for costumes, which you don't really need. Uh, and I want to say there's something else. Uh, no, no, that's it. Because I mean, if we're gonna throw in balloons, I mean, you could buy those. Yeah, just two things. It's nowhere near as insane as DK64, and they're not even mandatory. Like, you could beat the game and not do that. So it's like, I get it's a collectathon, but the game is not really requiring the collection part of the game.
And there was a time when these collectathon style games were incredibly prominent. I'm talking.
Now, this is low-key unfair what he's gonna say, right? Because he's saying, oh, times have changed, current year. But how many games has DSP played where he got butthurt that they changed the game? Aka, Doom the Dark Ages, Doom Eternal. He plays these games. This doesn't play like Doom. It needs to play like Doom. But then DK Bonanza plays like classic DK games, and that's bad. Now DK has to modernize. But Doom, how dare it try to do something different? Fuck that. Like, you can't be taken seriously when you have these conflicting, like, semantic-y ass opinions. Because I guarantee he's gonna say, well, I'm not saying to appear the identity, but it should modernize correctly, like Doom 2016. But the modernization of Doom 2016, in his eyes, is literally, it went from sprites to 3D models. Like, that's the modernization, and that he could beat the game. But, like, what is wrong with DK Bonanza just doing this, right? And the game adds a level of destructibility that makes you want to, like, explore the game even more and try to, like, do stuff. Like, the game, to a degree, kind of encourages you to try to break the game. And that's what I like about, that's what made me love Death Stranding. I just love trying to cheat the deliveries. Like, oh, there's BTs there. But what if I go all the way around? I could just not do that. Like, sure, I could go through that and that'd be, like, fine, but I just don't want to deal with it. I could just go around. And it's just funny to see, like, Sam, like, looking stupid, like, clipping on a wall or whatever. Like, it just kind of makes you want to try stuff. And that's, I feel, what DK Bonanza is. Like, what if I try to do this? Like, there's stuff that's unbreakable, obviously. But it's just fun to see a game give you the ability to try. And I think that's, like, what I'm, like, finding fun about it. Like, there's, like, a cathartic level to DK Bonanza that's not in any other game, or in most games. And this dude is saying, like, this game does not, it plays too old. No, it's not modernized. Yeah, give DK a fucking gun, give him yellow paint, have him have a forced story where they have forced walk-in segments, and have Pauline be like, DK, throw a banana, but you already knew that.
The second half of the 90s.
Like, you know what? I'm gonna say this as well. What's kind of funny, God of War Ragnarok has a kid character, Atreus. I mean, well, in 2018. And he's an annoying-ass character. He tells you how to solve puzzles and this and that. Pauline, a kid character, and she's not annoying. Wow, it's like, you're able to make a kid character and not have the kid character be grading. Incredible, right?
The early 2000s. You had entire franchises based on collectathon. You had a big genre of games, the open
Big.
3D platformer style collectathon game. Banjo-Kazooie was one of the huge ones, but then there was also other variations and things like that. And
Other variations of
I
things
get
like
it,
that.
but what gets me about this is it totally feels like an homage to the past when you play it.
So,
But
so DK Bonanza cannot be an homage to the past, but these other games that had dated mechanics, DSP will say that's the point. He'll play a game that has an outdated mechanic and say, "Well, that's the point. It's supposed to do this," and this and that all the time. Like him playing Death Stranding. Like, I mean, it's kind of unfair, but I think Death Stranding is a well designed game. But he'll just sit there and say, "This is the game, guys. This is the game." But DK Bonanza saying, "This is the game," he's like, "This is not what the game should be, guys."
it's 2025. It's not PS1, Nintendo 64 era.
Like, he says that, like, Astrobot was a throwback to old platformers. What did that game do that was so innovative? Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I played it and I never really got the itch to go back to it. DK Bonanza, I'm constantly thinking about picking up the controller and playing it again. Like, I don't quite get the allure. Like, it's a fun game. I would be lying if I said it wasn't fun. Like, I see why other people may have that, but for me, I didn't have that same like attraction to it. But even then, DSP said that was a throwback game. But DK Bonanza being a throwback game, supposedly, that's bad and stupid. Like, why?
We have advanced far past this. In fact, Nintendo already has advanced far past this. They say that it was the makers of Super Mario Odyssey that worked on Bonanza. To which I say, then how on earth is Bonanza the second game? Like, if Bonanza had come out first, and then a few years later, there was Super Mario Odyssey, I would have been like, I see what happened.
I hate how he fucking snaps his fingers. It's so cringe. It's always like these cringe situations. I get it. When he gets something, he always snaps, or when he has to think he has a snap because he's a fucking obnoxious baby.
They started with the basic concept, the throwback homage from the 90s, but now they've advanced it to be more interesting with the unique power-ups the hat can do.
What?
I see what happened. So they started with the basic concept, the throwback homage from the 90s, but now they've advanced it to be more interesting.
But we're not, like, considering the... I don't know... Would you consider DK Bonanza to be open world? Same with Mario Odyssey? I'll just say it is, just for the sake of argument, but, I kind of think that this game does a better job interlinking the worlds better than Mario Odyssey did. Like, Mario Odyssey is fine. I kind of need to replay that game, to be honest. I've kind of been wanting to. But I kind of remember not really, like... There were just a lot of worlds I did not care about, and it's like... And then I couldn't wait to get to the next one. I'm not really feeling that with DK Bonanza. Like, each world I'm kind of, like, enjoying. So DK Bonanza is doing more what I like than what I could say about Mario Odyssey. Pure memory.
With the unique power-ups the hat can do, with the unique puzzles and platforming, with
all the hat can do is just possess people, and then you can do like weird, funny jumps with the hat. Like it does interesting things with the hat. Like, I'm not gonna shit on the hat, but the hat is dependent on like what the game gives you to use. Meanwhile, DK Bonanza, you can destroy the entire environment
with cool challenges against enemies and all of that. That's where they hit it on the head. So it was a good start with Bonanza, but then the culmination with Odyssey, that shows
this idea, like, I get what he means, because this does happen when you work on something creatively and all this stuff. Like, you do learn lessons from previous things that go into the next one, this and that. But that always varies on different scales. Like, it may be something as minor as, oh, I learned that instead of doing this, I could do that instead, and that's what I did, or whatever. Like, there's always that kind of stuff going on intuitively. But not everything you work on is working towards a magnum opus like this. Like, yeah, the next game that this team is going to work on is not going to be the amalgamation of these two games. It's just, they may learn something in other ways. Like, because at the end of the day, these games are designed with two different principles. Like, Mario games are very different from Donkey Kong games. Like, they have two different philosophies in their design, and that's why I kind of think that I get why people compare these two, and I think and it's not a completely unfair comparison. It he gets a little bit unfair territory later on, like when he talks about like the end game stuff versus DK Bonanza, because it's just obviously the end game stuff is going to be way better than the early game stuff, all in every game. But it's like these games are also very different in what they want the player to do in them. You know?
They learned in advance. It's literally the opposite. Odyssey is 8 years old. And when you're playing Super Mario Odyssey, every world feels different than the last. All the gameplay elements change as you unlock the new power-ups, new platform.
How many power-ups did he unlock in Mario Odyssey? Let's see. From what I remember, you just have the hat. Like, there were no other power-ups in Mario Odyssey. Like, there was no wing cap. There was no fire flower. At least from what I remember. There was just enemies. Like, I don't think there were any other power-ups in Mario Odyssey. Like, I kind of want to research it, but I don't want to. But, DK Bonanza, there's, like, transformations. At this point, he only has one transformation. But, like, there's other stuff to do in DK Bonanza. Like, this is, like, a weird comparison, because DK was never known for power-ups. Like, there was stuff you could do, like ride a dolphin or whatever, but they were never a game that had power-ups in it like they did in Mario. And Mario Odyssey just had the hat. But okay.
Platforming mechanics are constantly introduced.
All he's complaining about is that DK Bonanza did not dangle more keys in front of his face. Like, the fact that they give you a world and they want you to explore it and do whatever you want in it, that's not enough. You have to keep dangling keys in front of his face.
And so are new enemies, okay? I've played 6 hours of Donkey Kong Bonanza, and the entire time that I've played it, all you do is you scan with sonar, and you collect items. That's the whole game.
But that's also Mario Odyssey. If we're gonna reduce the game to that, we can reduce Mario Odyssey to the same thing. Well, in Mario Odyssey, all you do is jump around and then get moons. And throw your hat and get moons. If anything, like, Mario Odyssey has a lot of bloat. You know, the thing he hates? Because there's a lot of dumb moons. Oh, you look at the sun. Here's a moon. Oh, you sat on a table. Moon. Oh, you talked to a dude. Moon. Like, you get moons for the dumbest shit, which artificially inflates the amount of moons in the game.
Now, yes, there's platforming in there. There's been one major boss fight. Yeah, there's a little bit
Look how fair this is. In Mario Odyssey, you're platforming, you're doing this, and DK, is this collecting? Yeah, there's platforming, but collecting. Wow, that's really fair. That's like, well, in Mario Odyssey, all you do is collect moons. Yeah, there's platforming and hat tricks, but you're just getting moons, dude.
A bit of variation here and there, but for the most part, the entire game feels the same. Will that change further into the game? I don't know. I played it one day. This is my feelings after 6 hours of gameplay. But I don't want to play a game where you do the same thing for 20 hours. I want to play a game where there's innovation, where there's things that look and feel different. That's exactly what happened with Super Mario Odyssey. Every time you went into a new world, your jaw dropped. Oh, we're in a...
This dude can't remember Mario Odyssey, like, at all. I mean, I remember some parts. I don't have a good memory of Mario Odyssey, to be fair, but at least I'm not pretending as if I have a perfect memory of it. But this dude is saying that Mario Odyssey is better, and all they can recount is New Donk City, which is, like, the most, like, obvious thing that people like in that game. And then, the end game stuff. Like, of course, the Bowser Castle stages are gonna be what people remember as well, because they're fucking Bowser stages.
we're in a jungle, and look at this cool innovative thing. Look at these creatures that are camouflaged. Look at this platforming element that wasn't
Look at these creatures that are camouflaged. I don't remember there being camouflaged creatures. Was there creatures that were camouflaged? No, I don't think there was.
in the last stage. Oh, now we're in New Donk City. This is amazing. Now you can ride vehicles, you can climb buildings, you can do
Why hasn't he talked about the cake level? Where's the cake, Phil?
platforming challenges that are throwbacks to original Donkey Kong, and you can do this and that. Oh, now
There were. Oh my God! I know what he means. I thought he was talking about like Donkey Kong Country, but it's like no, he's talking about like the game with the girders and this and that. But that's all in New Donk City. That's one area.
now we're in a stage that's a giant castle, and it's a huge homage like Dark Souls games with a giant cryptic
Homage to Dark Souls games. What? No. But I guess FromSoft invented castles. Castles never existed before. But again, this stuff is all either like the only thing that was not Endgame or New Donk City was the forest. But guess what, gang? The forest was like the near first parts of the game. Like you're gonna get into the forest level pretty quickly. It's pretty early on, from what I remember. So these are like very easy things to pick up on if you're just a tourist, basically. Uh, so there's that. And then he said the Donkey Kong thing, but that was again part of New Donk City, and then the endgame stuff. And then like he's gonna bring up like the Peach's Castle from Mario 64, which is endgame stuff. You get that like when you do like the secret world stuff, which you're just gonna do, and that's kind of where I stopped playing the game, by the way, because I got stuck on this one area. I'm like, I don't want to do this. I kind of think I knew how to do it, but I was like, I don't want to bother. So there's that. But these are things that are at the end game. He's comparing stuff that happened near the end of the game to the first 6 hours of DK Bonanza. Okay.
Gothic dragon and stuff like that. And you keep playing, there's so much more going on, right? Like I said in the video I put out last night, when I was playing Super Mario Odyssey, there wasn't a moment when I felt like, man, I am so bored because this is the same as the last 3 stages, and I just don't feel like anything new is going on, right? With this game,
But like again, maybe the fun isn't the platforming as much as it is you're a gorilla and you're just beating shit up and destroying things. Like maybe that's the fun aspect of the game. Ever think of that?
I was about 4 hours in. So I had beaten the first world, and I fought the first boss. I'm like, okay. As soon as I got to that second world, okay, and I started looking around, I'm like, so this is the map. And you start clapping, and like, okay, it's the same items. And you start putting, you're like, wow,
I don't get that like criticism. So I clap and I see other items. Oh, that's the like that's like me playing Mario and saying like playing Mario 64. Oh, okay, I got a star. Next level. Oh, I get a star. Wow, that's it, huh? Like I go to the same world 8 times and I get 8 stars. Wow, huh? That's it. And then I get 100 coins. That's also a star. Wow, I guess this is all you do in Mario.
it's the same thing. It doesn't even feel like you're on a new level. It just feels like you're doing more of the same level again. That's not good. That's really bad. That's means that they have a concept and the concept works, except only in limited portions. And that's the problem. If you have
Does
a
he know what a
game
concept
you can
is?
only handle a few
Whatever.
hours at a time before you start to get bored, then there's a problem with the game.
But you know what's funny though about this whole thing? DSP brags how, oh, me being a variety streamer allows me to kind of like not get burned out. I play games like a couple of times and this and that, blah blah blah. So games can always feel fresh to me. So then like wouldn't this game be perfect for that? You're playing in like short bursts anyway. You're playing 4 hours at most. Anyway. So wouldn't this game be perfect for that? Okay.
And that's what happened yesterday to me with Donkey Kong Bonanza. When we first started playing at the beginning of the day, we were all blown away. But once we got to World 2, all of a sudden that wonderment, right? That
Wonderment?
that awe moment, it kind of went away. You're like, oh, it's the same again. Nothing, it's nothing new here, right? That's not good. Seriously, that's just it's disappointing. And I do hope that as we continue to play, that there'll be more imminent.
By the way, there was like an interview, and the guy who worked in the game did say there's harder levels. So just wait until the game like bodies him, then he's gonna hate it because he played. So the other thing is he talked about Dark Souls, but you know what I remember about DSP bringing up Dark Souls and Mario was he hated Mario Odyssey by the end because the game started getting hard to him. Like there was one level. It's the level where he ended up using the frog glitch. Watch that whole thing and you really see how much he really loves Mario Odyssey. He sat there bitching and moaning, "Oh, they made Dark Souls! Oh, you need Dark Souls! This is so stupid!" But okay.
Innovation and variety, but there hasn't been any. So, is this what Nintendo has to offer today? Better graphics.
This is what it does to offer
right?
today?
You know, nostalgia bait stuff. Like, for example, there was a optional secret level that plays like Donkey Kong Country. And I liked it. It had the Donkey Kong Country music, and you could beat the crap.
So get this, right? He praises, he likes the throwback to Donkey Kong Country, but hates Donkey Kong Bonanza for being a throwback to collectathons or whatever. Oh, it's just not being a throwback in the right way. This is being a throwback in the wrong way. Obviously.
The crap out of everything. Oh, this is fun. And then as soon as it's over, you're back to the same game again. You're like, oh, man. It's not good. Also, I'll agree there. The game is very easy. Like, it seems like the enemies are completely afterthoughts. There's no real challenge.
Oh, okay. Watch him do that, like, okay, there is, like, I was trying to think if I should do this, like, chronologically, but no. Let's see this a bit.
Why didn't it say you were supposed to do it on there?
But it's easy, right? Look how easy this game is.
Typically, they would explain a new game mechanic, but I guess not.
Wait a sec.
And welcome back. It is time for... What the hell's going on? Bonanza. I don't understand.
I don't look at this. This is easy though. Guys, this is an easy game. Look how easy this is.
What? They explained nothing. What the hell was that? You're taking my coins when I die? I didn't even know that. It's the first time I died.
No. Not my coins.
Thanks for explaining nothing.
Thanks for explaining nothing.
Surf your way to the finish line. So why didn't they just say that? Wow, that's really stupid.
Why didn't they
just say that? How do you surf?
How do you do?
I don't know how to surf.
How do you surf?
I don't know how to turf surf.
I don't know.
I don't think I have turf surf, do I?
Oh my god.
I don't think I have turf surf.
This is an easy game, by the way. Easy game. Easy peasy. I only learned how to turf surf because Rocco brought it up. He did like the Switch 2 experience, and then they told him, like, oh, do this. And he said that in a podcast, so I...
Okay, here we go.
Oh, look, he learned.
It was left trigger. Oh, what are you doing? Why did he run off the side? He did that by himself. I didn't do that. That was weird. Okay.
Well, because
What's up, Lightning
he got his
Drake?
ass
How you doing?
stung. Oh my god, they picked this. Look at that.
What happened?
What happened? What happened?
Sure. I thought you could turf surf on the thorns. I guess not.
He didn't notice that the old thing was like losing size over time. Didn't notice that.
Typically, they would explain a new game mechanic, but I guess not.
Like, dude was telling like there's a speech bubble that tells you like what you should do. Didn't think to use that. He picked it up and threw it.
What happened? Why did it break?
Oh my god! But this is a very easy game, guys. Very easy.
Challenge to fighting any enemies in the game. You just turbo right through them, and if you're not, transform, and then you'll turbo right through them. It doesn't seem like there's any real, like the first boss, I just bullied the crap out of the first boss. I didn't learn any mechanics. I just punched him a zillion times till he died. And there was nothing else to do. I mean, he was done. That's not a good first boss at all.
Alright.
So, it's hilarious. Everyone in the chat who's saying this, can you shut the hell up? You didn't make it to the second world. Yes, I did. You just didn't watch that far. I made it to the second world. I beat the whole first layer of the second world. I'm on the part that's now you're in the industrial part where there's the factories that are spewing gas and stuff. I've made it further than you think. You just didn't watch it. I know because no one watched the videos.
Okay.
Okay.
like that matters, right? Right?
So, yeah, to be honest here, when I played Donkey Kong,
and again, I love that he's like mocking it for being easy, but he literally bitches about like again, watch the Mario Odyssey rant when he was playing the frog level, the level where he had to use the frog glitch. He literally was saying, "How can a kid beat this? Imagine if you're a kid and you're trying to beat this, you'd probably rip your hair out." I don't want to get in trouble, so I had to find another solution. But you know what I was about to say. But like, he bitches and moans that the game that some of their games get too hard. They make a game easy. Why is this easy? Huh?
Was excited for 2-3 hours, and then I feel like you hit a wall because it's the same thing and it's just boring.
I kind of wonder.
When I played Mario Odyssey, it was the opposite. And I'll even say this too.
Whatever.
For as much of a boring slog that sometimes I thought Breath of the Wild could be, when I was entering new areas, oh my god, look at these dragons flying in the sky. That's really cool.
He never mentioned the dragons. He never mentioned the dragons in his Breath of the Wild. I don't remember it, and I don't think he ever said it. And then in Tears of the Kingdom, he was annoyed by it.
Oh, look, I'm gliding down into a brand new area I've never seen before. It's a new environment with lighting and different things, new enemies. That was cool. Whenever I did the big dungeons in the game, they were cool.
Were they? I mean, in Breath of the Wild, that was one of their big complaints, was there were no dungeons. Fake fan alert. Fake fan alert. He thinks that there's... I mean, to be fair, I kind of know what he's getting at, because I guess you could say the Divine Beasts are dungeons. But I don't think they were that cool. They all look the same. Like, this dude talking about how everything is the same. The one game where the dungeons actually look the same, he's like, oh, this was actually really cool. The only dungeon in Breath of the Wild I liked was Hyrule Castle, and I kind of wished Tears of the Kingdom leaned more to that. Though it was better what they did in Tears of the Kingdom, but you know what I'm saying?
You know? So I actually liked all of that about Breath of the Wild. In this case, I just don't feel that feeling playing Donkey Kong. I feel like the entire game's just going to be more of the same, more of the same, more of the same. So, I don't know. I don't even know what else to say. I'm trying to be honest, but I'm just not feeling it. And here's the thing. We are now a month and a half into the launch of Switch 2. The console has 2 games and a bunch of ports.
Okay, so how was the PS5's first 2 months? Because I only remember Demon Souls and Miles Morales, then like third-party games. That's it. Now, of course, they would say, well, those were marketed for this or that, but like, you know, who cares about Call of fucking Duty, right?
The ports, no one seems to care about, and no one is buying.
This is kind of low-key an unfair comparison. Like, ports are not sales dynamos. The only way a port would be a sales dynamo is if it was a game that was not, like, accessible, and it was a highly sought-after port. Like, I could see that being a sales dynamo. Like, you know? But even then, that is, like, rare. Very rare. Like, SMT3 was a game that everyone loved. Did people, like, swoon for SMT3? Oh, man, I don't know who this person is. They can, talk to the voicemail. Anyways, like, these ports, of course, are not gonna sell well. Like, Cyberpunk, a game that's like how many years old? Like 5? I don't know. Like, it came out during the PS4 era. Like, it was PS4 into the PS5 life cycle, so it's like old. Like, nobody cared about Cyberpunk. I mean, we're already moving on to Cyberpunk 2 and all that. Cyberpunk's an old game. So why would anyone buy this game again if they're not like a diehard fan that wants to play on the Switch too? Like, he doesn't understand that some of these. Oh my god, dude! Like, look at the time. Uh, oh my god, Jesus! Like, some of these ports, they just port just so people can like have another like option to buy them. Like, they're doing them not in the sense of like, whoa, we're gonna make $1 million. Like, I don't think CD Projekt Red made Cyberpunk on the Switch 2 because they wanted it to sell very well. They probably ported it to see if they could, and that they wanted people to play it on the Switch 2. Like he also doesn't understand. Like, sometimes like companies do this because they want to. Like, there may not be money incentive behind it. They just maybe want to do it to see if they could see how the engine can handle on the Switch 2 maybe.
Everyone's done with Mario Kart World because it's an insanely underwhelming game with almost no content. And now Donkey Kong Bonanza is a game that you're bored of after 3 hours. What the hell happened to Nintendo? Really?
But again, like, even if you look at the Switch one, right? Let's say it didn't break. He would have just played Hyrule Warriors, Breath of the Wild, and that's it. Like, that's all he would have played. Oh my god, Breath of the Wild. That's all he would have played, and then he would have put it down and then go back to his PS4. Like, the console just came out. Like, I kind of think it's kind of crazy that they released 2 games within like a month's time.
What is going to happen to Nintendo? Is there someone new over there in charge? Is Miyamoto just getting too old? Maybe.
Dude, what does he think Miyamoto does at Nintendo? Like I don't think he makes these games anymore. I think he's just there, probably as a supervisory position or whatever. Like, I don't think he like works on games anymore. Like, I think he probably supervises to make sure that these people are not like, oh, we're gonna give Mario a fucking handgun. Like, I think he's there to say, don't do that. Like, he's not actively making these games anymore. Same with like Ezio Numa. I don't think. I don't think that they make these games anymore or do anything other than supervise. At least from what I think. I mean, I don't know their capacity at Nintendo anymore, but I don't think they make games anymore.
Because you got to understand, Nintendo, a lot of the people who are still over there running stuff have been doing it for like 30, 40 years. And maybe at some...
This is how foreign this concept is. Because in America and other places, I guess, they just turn over other developers. They just kind of cycle through them like they're just whatever. But Nintendo keeps their staff on board because, first off, there is like laws in Japan to kind of to make sure that companies just don't lay people off. But I think as well, Nintendo just wants to keep these people working on the same game because, hey, they worked on this game, I think they know what they're doing, kind of thing. So there's all this stuff like at play there, and that's probably like what's going on. But that's a concept foreign to DSP. That's like, why don't they just get new people? Why do they need to? The people there have made good games, but whatever. And again, like, if you don't like DK Bonanza, that's fine. It's also like fine to remember that Nintendo is a company of people. They can make as much bangers as they can make duds. I mean, they made Mario Sunshine. Mario Sunshine is my least favorite Mario game.
At some point, you have to realize you have to move on to the next thing and have the next generation
generation.
take on
It's so funny he's saying this when this dude is so like hates when a new generation comes around. Like he bitches about the FGC for having a new generation. The new generation doesn't suck my dick enough. But DSP is now all about let the new generation do. But that's what's going on. Like the people who worked on Mario Odyssey is not the same people who did Mario 64 and all this other stuff. Like, come on, man.
the mantle and the reins, because at this point I'm playing and I'm just like, I don't even get it anymore. It doesn't even feel like a Nintendo game anymore. It feels like they kind of know what a Nintendo game should be and they're trying to emulate that, but then they flounder, they stumble, they trip on their own shoelaces. And
It's so nasty. Like I don't respect this dude's opinion when it comes to this kind of shit. You think DSP understands the creative process? Like he knows enough to play the game. Like, oh, looks like they stumbled. Like I don't think he gets that. I don't think he would know.
then the game has shortcomings and problems. Like Mario Kart World, when you sell me on there's an open world. Holy shit, there's an open world in Mario Kart where you could drive around and do stuff. Cool. So the open world should be, as you drive around, you earn unlockables, like new characters, new vehicles, customizables, and all this.
The new characters is kind of dumb how you unlock them. Like at least like the penguin or whatever. Like someone has to use a Kamek item, and then you can get the character, which I think is kind of stupid. But then there's the costumes, which you can unlock in the open world. Like there is stuff in the open world you can unlock. You wouldn't know because you played the game. Like I did not know this because I did not play the open world, but the costumes in the game are tied to the regions in the open world. Like if you want like a winter jacket, you have to go to a snowy location for that. Like that's how it works. That all these costumes are tied to regions and the kind of food. I did not think this. I only knew this after the fact. But I mean, I guess that's not conveyed. Like Nintendo didn't have like didn't explain that. But it's kind of intuitive because it kind of made sense because you get costumes by eating food, and that's the thing that's in the open world. Like you can kind of stumble into that just by knowing that, right?
This, right? No, the open world's completely worthless. It has no value. You get stickers you never use or see. Isn't that just like a design management decision that someone in charge says, hey, no.
Well, arguably, maybe they knew that when people bought Mario Kart, they wanted just to do races and not do open world challenges. Like, I never really cared for the Mario Kart challenges, so like, why would I care about the challenges in the
do this with the open world to make it worthwhile, so people feel like their money's. How did someone who was in charge of that project not realize that that was a mistake and just have a worthless open world? With Donkey Kong Bonanza, right? Every world should be unique. Every time that you go to the new layer, you should feel like you're entering an entire new environment, new things, new elements, things like that, right?
Right.
No, instead, you go there, it feels like exactly the same as the last one, exactly the same as the last one. I'm in World 2 now. Technically, I'm in the second half of World 2, the industrial part. The gameplay elements are identical to the beginning of the game from when I started in the tutorial room.
Okay.
Don't you think there should have been someone in
Mean,
charge?
how can he complain about that when he didn't know how to turf surf? He didn't know how to do turf surf, but okay.
Checking the project and being like, no, we got, you're 6 hours in, we got to have new stuff. It can't just be the same thing the whole game. People are going to get bored. Like,
but it goes the other way too. If you just throw in a lot of like new stuff, that may get monotonous. Like you're not gonna have any time to hone your other skills if they keep throwing new stuff at you. Like there's a pace to this, and I'm scared to say that because he may throw that word around a lot more in the future. But I was thinking. I watched Arrested Development the other day. I rewatched an episode, and I thought, and now I'm thinking about this. DSP is definitely like Job in this sense, where Job worked at Sitwell, and he had all these ideas that Michael gave him, and instead of like pacing out these ideas to like kind of like have his worth, be whatever, he like just threw out all of the ideas all at once, like this, and then after that he was like, I got an idea. Fuck city. Fuck mountain. Like that's what would happen. Like DSP wants Nintendo to be like Joe Bluth at Sitwell, where they're just throwing all these ideas out, and then it's like when you get to the end of the game, it's like, oh, what are we gonna do now? Like they can't do that. Now if he's gonna say, well, they should pace it out better, okay, but I mean, I don't know, right?
Nintendo used to get it. Seriously, like Nintendo seemed to used to get it. Now it's like they've lost their way. They don't even understand what makes a good game anymore.
They lost their way.
No, just because you have the open world doesn't mean it's good. You need to have a reason to play in it. No, just because you have amazing destruction mechanics doesn't mean it's going to last. You need to have a reason to want to keep using those mechanics, and it's not repetition of the same crap.
But again, it's the feedback loop of it. Like I mean, I guess in that regard, I get the issue that some people may have, but I think that in of itself is fun. Like I don't need some like thing to like get in the way of that. Just let me just destroy the map. I don't know.
Crap
right?
over and over. You know what I'm saying?
You know
Like,
what I'm saying?
it's not rocket science to figure this shit out, but why is it that game developers can't figure out basics of entertainment anymore? I'm lost. I really am. Like, they used to. Nintendo used to get it. Now it's like they've forgotten their way. Why? What happened? What changed? Are they too old? Are they listening to the wrong people? Do they just not care? Because like I talked about yesterday in my 10-minute video about Donkey Kong Bonanza, it seems like Nintendo is just more concerned with sales than anything else. I hate to say it.
I love this. Oh, it seems they're more concerned about sales, dude. Oh, okay. He said this in the same podcast where he just talked about sales of ports not selling. He just talked about, guys, look at the ports, they're not selling. The sales don't work. And now he's saying, guys, I think Nintendo needs to stop caring about sales. But also remember, guess what was DSP's number one complaint about Nintendo? The Wii U didn't sell, and they sucked, and then they sold amiibos and all this stuff. Which, you know, honestly, do we even know if amiibos is what saved the company? He keeps saying this, and I don't think that's true. Call me crazy, but I don't think amiibos was able to save the company from bankruptcy. Like, because the amiibos only worked with the Wii U at the time when they were first released. The console that did not sell at all. So how did that save Nintendo? Like, it just seems that he saw them sell amiibos and thought it was stupid because it was cashing in on like the Skylanders fad, which he also hated. And since he didn't like that, that's bad, and he was forever angry about that. And was also angry at the time that Nintendo was also claiming videos too, blah blah blah. But he's telling them that they shouldn't care about sales, but he has talked about sales a lot when it comes to Nintendo. Make it make sense.
I wish that wasn't the case, but I'm just giving you my opinion and my take here. You realize the entire...
Okay, if they didn't care about sales, then what if that was the Wii U? What if at that time that was them not caring about sales? They made the Wii U, Phil. What about that?
Entire Switch 2 launch was planned in a way...
Oh.
My opinion and my take here. You really...
Get ready for a really dumb segment. This is like it is like incredibly dumb. Like I can't believe he tried to tell us that he fell asleep. He slept on his thoughts of DK Bonanza and all this stuff, and came up with more stuff to say, and had this to say. Like this is like so stupid. Like, I don't even think you could shove enough crayons up your nose to like get to this level.
You realize the entire Switch 2 launch was planned in a way to create artificial...
Like, if you thought Theo theories were dumb, get a load of this one.
Hype and scarcity, so that people would desire the console, despite the fact that it was planned in a way to create artificial hype and scarcity
Artificial hype and scarcity. Now, this to me, in my Theo theory, and I'm gonna say it. I think this theory is more reasonable than what DSP has. But I think you could kind of tell DSP wanted so badly for nobody to be able to buy a Switch 2 so that he could say Nintendo's doing artificial scarcity to drum up demand for the Switch 2, because that's what people were accusing Nintendo of doing for the Switch 1, because it was sold out all over the place, people couldn't get it in time, and this and that, and DSP was like, they're doing artificial scarcity! They are making it so that people want it because they can't have it! And all this stuff, which is whatever. I mean, you could think that or whatever. But that was not the case for the Switch 2. You could walk into a store and buy one right now. So how are they making artificial scarcity? Now he brings up online shopping. Online shopping and in-person shopping are two very different processes. Because when you buy something online, that's not necessarily mean that what you buy online is you're getting it from the store in your area, and they're holding on to that. They're getting it from a warehouse that's being delivered to that store, whatever. Like, that's all it is. And DSP's acting as if, like, when you order online, you're taking from the inventory of the store in IRL. That's not the case necessarily, whatever. Like, it's dumb to compare how it's handled.
So that people would desire the console despite the fact that there's nothing to do with it. They made the Switch 2 seem scarce.
I don't think there was a lot of hype to buy the Switch 2. I don't think so. The only reason why I wanted it, and I'm a proud admitter of this, it had Wind Waker at launch. That was enough for me. Like, I knew I wanted to Switch 2 eventually, but I just wanted to play Wind Waker so bad. Like, you know, I am a sucker. Now, you know, I found my own worth with the Switch 2, but look, people have their weaknesses. DSP can't really flex on me because he literally caved and to buy a Switch to play Ultra Street Fighter 2. There are tweets and all of this stuff where he said, guys, I'm not that hyped for the Switch 1. I think the Switch 1 might be the first Nintendo console I'm gonna skip. Made a big deal about it. And then they revealed Ultra Street Fighter 2 for the Switch. And guess who changed their tune? This guy. So, you know, at least I'm a simp for a good Zelda game. He's a simp for a bum-ass Street Fighter game. We're not the same.
It's not. Are you aware that there are ridiculous amounts of Switch 2s sitting in warehouses right now?
That you could buy.
There are.
Okay, but you can also buy them in the store. This is not like he's basing this off of Wario64 and cheap ass gamer tweeting, "Oh, Target's gonna have their online stock." Like, I just think it's very obvious that these websites are like trickling out the units because they don't want people to bum rush their website. Like, I think that's why they're doing it that way, because again, online is a different situation than going in the store in person. Like, this is really like level 1 thinking right now.
But Nintendo did not want all of them to be available at launch. So they only
No. Like, the stores were able to buy their whatever. Okay. Whatever.
Certain quantities of them to retailers to create artificial scarcity.
This is dumb because I think stores just ordered the amount that they want. Like, GameStop and said we're only gonna have like in this at retail places IRL like this many units. We're divvying out this many units. Like, these are store decisions. Nintendo does not have a say in that. Like, if GameStop wanted to buy the entire shipment of Switch 2, Nintendo would do it. Because they're like, oh, you're going to give us all this? Okay, here, sell them. And this and that. And they would do it. But no company, no store is going to do that because that'd be a lot of money to do. And if, you know, they wouldn't do that. That would not make any sense. It's very clear that the store is the one that puts the orders in, how much they want to buy, and then they go from there. Like, that's all it is. but he thinks Nintendo decided that. Yeah, Nintendo told GameStop, Best Buy, Walmart, Target how to do it. They're like, guys, we're gonna give you the Switch, but do this, okay? No, I think they did that on their own.
It's been well reported. Nintendo mass produced the Switch 2. They have more than enough consoles to have for the rest of this year. They have enough. They just decided to drip them into stores so that basically people would have a hard time getting one.
No.
Right now,
yeah, it's so hard to get into a car and drive to a store. Like, it's only hard online because you're going online. Like, again, online shopping is very different. There's a lot more things going on there than going into a store.
Some places you can walk into a store and just buy a Switch 2 right off the shelf, but some places you can't find it yet. It's still not there, and we're a month and a half into the launch. I've checked online, and basically, what happens with the Switch 2 is there'll be a drop. Walmart has it in stock. Best Buy has it in stock. And you can order it for about a day, and then it goes out of stock. And then you have to wait like another week, and then there's another drop.
Yeah,
okay?
but that's not Nintendo doing that. That's the company doing that. That's the source doing that.
This is a strategy.
Whatever.
This is not scarcity. This is a strategy Nintendo is using to keep having
I don't
people
think
talk
Nintendo has
hype
that kind
about
of
their console
authority.
because it's not easy to get. Okay? Why did Nintendo only release one new game on the Switch 2 at launch? Artificial scarcity. Because they released just Mario Kart World. That became...
But see, look at this. Look at this. As I said, this dude... If, let's say that Nintendo released Metroid Prime 4, Mario Kart World, DK Bonanza, and some other... that weird game that looks ugly as fuck. The Jade game. They released all those games. All in launch week of the Switch 2. Guess what DSP would say? How can anyone play this? You can't buy all these games. It's a $450 console. I can't buy all these games. And how can I play them all? They just space them out. But I guess this is the incorrect way to space them out. But even when there's like 3 games in a month that are coming out, he says that that's too many games sometimes. Like, he literally bitches and moans that companies don't space their games out. Nintendo spaces their games out and they're dumb. That's wrong. It's artificial scarcity. Even though anyone could buy these games and it's not hard to get. I don't think he knows what words mean.
Became the game everyone needed to have at launch because it was the only actual new game. So literally everybody bought it. Every single person bought it. Okay? So it sold like hotcakes, despite the fact that everyone complained that it was $79.99. Everyone still bought it.
Yeah, because, I mean, this is really dumb. Like, this is the dumbest logic. It's literally the meme. Oh, you don't like thing, and you bought the thing. Very interesting. I'm very smart. It's like, yeah, I can disagree with something and end up buying it because, I want it, right? Like, I wanted to play Mario Kart World. Yeah, I spent $80. Yeah, like, I guess I should have bought the bundle, but at the same time, it's like, whatever, I didn't know if I was going to get the game at launch initially anyway. I just wanted to be sure to lock in the console. And then I got the game. And then I was like, well, you know what? Like, I was going to buy this anyway. The price is dumb, but, like, that's Nintendo. It's Nintendo. It's Nintendo. Like, they could get away with it because... how else are you gonna buy the game, right? Like, yeah, Apple does overcharge their products, but sometimes you just gotta eat it. Like, it's bad and fucked up, but at the same time, like, there's something I want from this company, I'll bite the bullet and just do it. Like, that doesn't mean that I fully condone and support a lot of these things. Like, there's a lot of nuance to this that gets lost in the discourse.
But guess what? The game actually doesn't have content. So you're done with it in 3 hours. You're playing online every once in a while.
What was the content for Street Fighter 6 at launch? Like, it had a decent size of a roster, but I'll be honest, like, if Mono was not in Street Fighter 6, I would struggle to play that game. Like, it's 2 Street Fighters in a row. Like, Street Fighter 5 was the same. It was like, Yeah, if it was for Karen and Rashid and Armika, I probably would not like the game. Like I probably would not have played it as much as I did. And Street Fighter 6, it's like, yeah, I really don't like I would have been the same. The World Tour mode was not that interesting. I didn't like it that much, so I dropped it. The arcade mode was good, and that's it. Like it didn't have like a lot of content at launch. Like, come on.
Once in a while, party game. Well, now I'm bored. There's nothing else on my console. Oh, well, did you know that Donkey Kong Bonanza's coming out? Oh, really? Oh, well, maybe I'm not the biggest fan of Donkey Kong, but you know, it's the only other new game for Switch 2, so I'm going to buy it. It's artificial scarcity.
That's not
They could have
artificial
very
scarcity. It's just like no shit. Yeah, Nintendo probably did that to drum up sales for these games. But like, isn't that a smart business decision? Like, again, this dude cries how game developers don't space their games out, and then Nintendo does it, and it's some like big conspiracy that is terrible. It's so bad that they space these games out. Like, okay, here's another question then, right? If it's so bad that these are spaced out, then would DK Bonanza and Mario Kart World be amazing games if these came out the same day? Like, come on. This is what criticism is this?
very well released Donkey Kong Bonanza on release day, along with Mario Kart World. The game was done. It was Nintendo's plan. This is their marketing plan. This is how they sell. They create.
I keep repeating this because it's still it's just such a perfect example of why you can never please DSP. You can listen to everything he says, do what he tells you, and it will still be wrong. Space your games out. Okay, Phil, we will space our games out. See, guys? Artificial scarcity. Look at what they're doing. Spacing games out. Wow. This is like fucking like the conspiracy theory like caricature in media. Like this is what they do. Guys, there's this thing going on. Okay, this thing. See, guys? Look at that. Look at that. Like, dude, like he wants them to fucking space their games out. Nintendo does it. That's wrong. Okay.
Artificial scarcity by saying, "Oh, look, this this isn't available," or you got to wait for this release date. Here's what would have happened. Okay. Here's what happened versus what would have happened. What happened was Nintendo only had Mario Kart World at launch, so everyone bought it. Now everyone's bored of Mario Kart World, so now you have to buy Bonanza, or you have nothing to do with your $450.
But guess what? DSP was gonna buy both games anyway, and a lot of people probably would. Like, this is really stupid. This is like really really stupid. Like you gotta be really dumb to say this shit.
Console that you just bought. So everyone's gonna buy Bonanza whether they like it or not, and they're gonna play Bonanza. Okay?
Okay.
If Nintendo on release day had actually released Mario Kart World and Bonanza at the same time, you would have had a selection of games to buy.
And then DSP can complain how they're cannibalizing each other and they are going to eat into each other's sales. Wow, it's like DSP is full of bullshit.
And what would have happened is people might have chosen one or the other, depending on if you want a more multiplayer party game or if you want more of a single player platforming experience. And actually, the games would have sold less. So it would have been a better experience for the consumer.
Okay, let's think about this for a hot minute, right? How would this be a good experience for the consumer, right? If you're apprehensive on the Switch 2, and because Mario Kart's Mario Kart, right? You're not gonna buy a console day one. Like you're just not gonna do that. If you're so like I don't know, man, you're not buying one. And then even if you give the person 2 games to choose from, that's still gonna be the same problem. Like, come on.
But it would have cost Nintendo some money. So Nintendo said, we don't care about that. We're going to create artificial scarcity so everyone will buy both games.
You know what? He's dumb for using artificial scarcity. I think what he's trying to say is that, like, as long as he just Oh my god. Like, he's just saying that, like, they're just basing their games out so people will buy everything. But again, like, guess what DSP says? Companies just base their games out. Why would DSP say that companies just base their games out? Oh, is it so that, like, it almost seems like these people wanted to space the games out so he can buy the game, like, one at a time and be able to buy everything. But if they come all at once, he's forced to choose. But so it seems these people likes that business model for his business. But even as a consumer, I kind of think this would still be a good opportunity, because even then, let's say that I'm a DK Bonanza guy. I'm more for single player platformers. Why would I buy the Switch 2 to play Mario Kart? Wouldn't I just wait until DK Bonanza comes out? I mean, I could just buy the console of Switch 2 and then buy DK Bonanza when it comes out, and then play Switch 1 games. Like, this is such a non-issue. It's kind of insane to even, like, complain about this.
And that's exactly what they've done.
Like, it really shows how little DSP thinks of anyone. He thinks everyone is stupid, and he's the voice of reason. Main character syndrome.
Now, if that's the case, because now we see how their business practices are, right? Then I would even go the next step further to argue that I think Nintendo now is purposefully putting out subpar games.
Couldn't you make that argument regardless of how they're releasing the games, though? Let's just argue that for a moment. You look at AAA game releases, right? And a lot of people are saying that they're the same experience, cookie cutter, like, whatever. Everyone that says about any Activision game, any Sony game, they all feel like it's the same kind of thing over and over. So, aren't they also selling subpar games? Like, this is a very, like, an unfounded complaint. Because the sad truth is, when it comes to DSP, he's not gonna like Metroid Prime 4. He's probably gonna hate it. So that's gonna validate his dumb fucking belief here. But again, the value of everything is in the value of the beholder. It's fine for DSP to say that he thinks DK Bonanza is a mid game, but he's talking about as if he is the authority of Nintendo games and everyone agrees that DK Bonanza is boring. Okay.
I'm serious. I think this is an actual design choice. Nintendo knows that they now have an installed base of customers.
He has said this for years. For years. Nintendo has had this dedicated fan base. But again, people buy Nintendo games because they know what to expect. The same reason why people buy Sony games. Like, why do you think even got as much of a dud God of War Ragnarok is? Why do you think that sold pretty well? Because people knew what to expect from it. And Sony will, like, Ghost of Tsushima is probably gonna sell pretty well because people know what to expect from that game. Like, come on.
That will buy everything they sell, that will buy every game they put out, as long as they do it according to this kind of artificial scarcity schedule.
But it's not artificial scarcity. It's literally like, hey, we're gonna, like, drip feed these games. Like, whatever. Anyone can buy them. I mean, you could walk into a GameStop right now and buy these games. Like, that's not what artificial scarcity means, but it just means that, like, they're drip feeding these games, and you don't have a lot to play, so you're gonna be naturally fiending for something else to play. Like, that's what he's getting at. I mean, I guess, describe it like that, it sounds like artificial scarcity, but, like, not in the way that you think it means, right? Like, they're not withholding anything. Like, it's not like that they're sitting on 1,000 games right now and they're not releasing them. But even then, like, isn't it better for them to drip feed games so there's always something new to play? Like, if they release, like, all these games all at once, there's gonna be spells of nothing to play. Like, and again, look at the years where there's a lot of games. Like 2017, we had Mario. I think we had Zelda, Persona 5, Nier Automata, Wolfenstein. All these games dropped. It was crazy. The next year, not a lot of games came out. huh, it's like there's a drought. There's no games. Man, it's like all these games came out, and then, it takes time to make these games. But it seems what Nintendo's doing is spacing these out so you're not like playing all these games, then waiting 2 years to play the next game. Like, and I think there's a report saying that they want to focus on like smaller scale games so that they could just kind of keep pumping games out, and that there's no diminishing quality or whatever, something like that. But of course, in if you're like DSP, that's bad because it's not a big explosive game with bunch of bells and whistles.
They want you to feel like you're special because you got to switch to.
This is reading way too much into something. So I'm supposed to feel special for having a Switch 2, and these games are coming out. Projection, because DSP acts this way when he gets something all the time. Guys, I got the PS5 Pro. Yeah, I'm playing this game on PS5 Pro. Yo, this game's coming out. It's gonna be on the PS5 Pro. Dude, Death Stranding 2, PS5 Pro enhanced. Guys, PS5 Pro, PS5 Pro. But then before he had it, well, I don't want it. I don't need it, man. He gets it, and now he's a special snowflake. It seems like that's how he feels. That's why he wanted to get two. Like, look at that launch stream or the buy the Switch 2 stream. And then he got it. He was like, I'm in line, guys, I'm in line. I got it. I did it, guys. I did. Yes. And he was like bouncing up and down. Guys, I got two consoles. Pretty cool, huh? And then like he lost them. And then he got another one. And then he's like, oh, good luck. We're gonna be playing Switch. Like, he hyped up an entire marathon because he got a Switch 2, and he acted as if it was special. But no, Nintendo is the one making you feel special. It's not you. It's not that DSP is inferring or he feels special for having it, and Nintendo's not validating his feelings enough. So it must be they're trying to make him feel that way. Oh, okay.
Switch 2, and you can play every new Switch 2 game. You're part of the in crowd. You're part of the selected group.
You can say this about literally everything. Dude, like, what do you think the console wars were? Oh, I have the PS5, I'm in the in crowd. Like, this dude pre-ordered that, got mad when it didn't come in time for him to unbox it. He got fucking paranoid as fuck if he was even gonna get the PS5 after buying it. All this stuff. DSP is the one that feels special. Like, he bought an iPhone because he wanted to fit in. I at least like Apple products and enjoy using them. And I'm not gonna say that they're amazing products or anything like that, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie and come up with a narrative as to why I have them or whatever the fuck. Like, I don't feel special for having them, I just like using them. But it's very clear DSP, like, falls for these consumer little traps very easily.
Right? Much
Right?
like this is exactly how Apple used to do it.
No.
Okay? That's exactly how Apple was.
Apple did not.
It's hard to get an Apple device on launch day.
No.
You're hip if you get it. It's expensive. You got to wait in line. You got to reserve. Everything's proprietary.
Okay. So then I got a question. In order for Apple not to be special, to be like a normal company, how would that work out, right? So okay, we're gonna release an iPhone. Oh, we don't want to be special. We're not special. I guess we'll just put it on, leave it outside and hope for the best. I don't know, like, what would they have done? They would still have to send them to stores. People would still have to order them. Like, and then there's a whole manufacturing aspect of it. Like, even to get Samsung phones, it's hard when they're new. But whatever.
Oh, but look, me, I got my iPod, I got my AirBuds, I got my freaking iPhone.
This is stupid. He doesn't understand why these things were successful. And Apple did not sell themselves off proprietary ports or whatever the fuck. They just think that their ports were like cool and shit and cool and shit. But like they were like, oh, the Lightning port is so fast and great. It's the fastest port ever. And then USB-C came around, and they didn't want to admit that the USB-C was like the way to go. And now look at them now. I mean, technically, part of that's like they were forced to do that, but whatever. Like, USB-C is the way to go. But like, that's just how it is. But like, it's mostly like, as far as like, oh, we have all these products. It's just the synergy that they all have. Like, I can do stuff with my Mac and my iPad and my phone, and it all works. It all communicates with each other. And I don't have to like. I technically have a 3-monitor system right now. Like, that's pretty cool. I can mirror my phone on my computer if I want. Like, there's cool things that Apple does, and like that's it. And again, these are all preference. This is all stuff that it's whatever, and that's what they're selling now. Their ecosystem, I mean, I hate saying lifestyle, but that's kind of what all these companies have adopted now. The Amazon lifestyle with like the Kindle, the Alexa, the Ring, all this stuff. Like, all these things are all ecosystems. Like, all these companies are selling ecosystems to you. Like, the only people are against are people who probably don't like the idea that they have all these devices around them all the time, and they may be spying on you.
Phone, my new freaking laptop, my MacBook, right?
Right?
Look at
MacBook,
me, I'm
right?
so
That's
cool.
what they're called, right?
So you feel like you're a part of a movement rather than just
Okay, even as far as Apple with this, that is like not even relevant. Like, even that sentiment, even with Nintendo, nobody feels like they're part of a movement. Like, this was something that died pretty quickly when people started to wake up to the performative activism these companies do. That whole thing died with that, basically.
a consumer of an electronic. And I feel like that's exactly what Nintendo is now doing. Instead of being
This is insane. Like, it's so nasty because he can really fit into like the criticism that people have about Nintendo's like ecosystem of the Nintendo Day app, the Switch app, and the Nintendo Music app, and all these things. Like, it's so annoying that he could easily just hide behind that criticism so easily. This dude is like a fucking he's a fucking predator. He blends in with his shitty takes with good takes. Like whatever, right?
the lead of a cultural thing of video games. They just want to be the company that's hip and cool that you need to have their products, and they're going to have this kind of strategy to make that happen. This whole thing this year has been a savvy move. There is a good reason.
How is it a savvy move? Like, dude, like why didn't you have this rant about the PlayStation 5 and Series X? That it was so hard to get these consoles. Oh, but it has the cover of COVID to hide that. But even then, this dude was fucking silent when it came to buying the anniversary PlayStation shit. Like, dude, you couldn't get those fucking stupid controllers. They made a dumb small amount of them because it was cute to make it the print as much as the year that these things came out in, or some dumb shit like that. And it's like, yeah, nobody's buying these at that point. And he was silent on that. Isn't that kind of like, oh, or you're so special? You got the PlayStation Anniversary controller. He said nothing. But Nintendo had just had a simple console launch, and they just released games. And he's like, look at this intricate conspiracy theory. And it's like, yeah, they drip feed their games. Okay, like, don't you want game companies to do this too? He has said all game companies should drip feed their games. And now it's bad that Nintendo does it. Nintendo's doing it the wrong way.
A very good reason why we don't have a release date for Metroid Prime 4 yet. From all reports, the game is going to release this year. But we don't have any information.
But how do you know that? I mean, like they said Persona 5 was going to come out in what, 2014? And it came out in 2017. Them saying, oh, it's coming out this year, that may not even be true, dude. It could be delayed. Whatever.
About the game.
I love that we went from being suspicious on the game being released this year to it's coming out this year. It is. Oh, okay.
It's being done on purpose. Trust me. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's another game, first party game, that's going to drop before Metroid Prime 4. And the thing is, everyone wants Metroid Prime 4, but there's not going to be any other games for Switch 2. So whether or not you want it, you're still going to buy whatever that new game is because you have.
This is so stupid. And you know what? Okay, let's say Nintendo did what DSP wanted, right? They spaced their games out normally, all this stuff. We still don't know when Metroid Prime 4 is. Let's say DK Bonanza came out at launch with Mario Kart World. And we're still waiting for news on Metroid Prime 4. There's no drip feeding, whatever, right? Guess what he's gonna say? So, DK Bonanza Mario Kart World came out. What's there to play? Where are you gonna play? Because guess what, gang? He said this about the Switch 1 too, I believe. Where he's like, guys, look, no games coming out. Like, look at back even during the Switch life cycle. He's like, guys, look, there's no games on the Switch, guys. There's no games. No games. And then he's like, okay, well, then we'll drip feed instead of releasing games and all this stuff. We'll just drip feed the games. Guys, they're gonna drip feed games so you can buy games for the console you bought. And then he acts as if we're all as if like, okay, so like let's say Nintendo releases in August a game called Potty Time, and it's a very DSP tier example, and all you do is shit. So in DSP's world, we're all gonna buy that game because you just wanna buy a new game. Like, I get that there are drones out there, but this is like a comedy amount of drones. Like, I don't even think the drones of the Switch 2 are gonna buy Potty Time. They don't even shower when it comes to Super Smash Brothers. You're telling me they potty too? No.
Because you have a Switch 2 and it's just sitting there collecting dust and you want to use it and you don't want it to be worthless. You don't want to feel like you had an investment in something that's not useful to you. So whatever game it is that Nintendo drops, it may not even be a ultra popular franchise. You're gonna buy it because you want to be part of the hit movement. Oh, I have the Switch 2. Look,
again, this dude thinks everyone is so stupid, and he's the smartest guy. Nobody would say, I don't need this game right now. Like, I mean, and if DK underperforms, which I don't think it's going to, I think it's gonna sell well, then, man, that egg on his face, right?
I got the new Switch 2 game.
And also, if we're so desperate and thirsty for games on the Switch 2, right, then wouldn't these ports also sell pretty well? If we're so desperate for Switch 2 games, wouldn't we also be buying other games? Let's not think about this too hard, guys.
And I want to be using my console, right? I don't know what it's going to be, but I almost guarantee it, because are you aware there's no other major releases on Switch 2 at all? The next one is Metroid Prime 4. That doesn't make sense. How do they have...
So we went from, oh, they're drip feeding games, so they have nothing else now. I thought they're drip feeding us games, Phil. Where's the drip feed? Where's the games?
No outline, no blueprint, no plans for the rest of the year. We're just gonna...
So let me guess. He wants Nintendo to give him a whole roadmap of the Switch 2, and then when they delay games, he could be mad that they delayed games. Again, you just can't please this guy. And you shouldn't. Fuck this guy. This is the customer you don't listen to. The customer's always right until they're DSP. Because this dude says... he contradicts himself. They should not care about sales. They should care about sales. They have no games. They have games. They're gonna drip feed games. They're not drip feeding games. Which is it?
Gonna flub it? I don't think so. I think they know exactly what they're doing. I almost predict by the end of the summer, they will announce the next game that will be the Switch 2 exclusive, and it's not going to be some giant game that you're expecting. It's not going to be a new Smash Brothers. It's not going to be a new...
Oh my god, look at the fucking low bar he has on this. Because, of course, there's a higher chance the next game that Nintendo's going to announce or whatever may not be a fucking AAA game. What a fucking guess, my guy! Wow, they should call him Nostrapigmus. Nostradamus. Wow, you're telling me that that they may not have a big system seller in the next Nintendo Direct. Wow, Phil. What a crazy theory. Guys, I think tomorrow, DSP is gonna get out of bed. And get this, he is gonna stream tomorrow. I think that's what's gonna happen. And then I think the sun will rise. I think the sun will rise tomorrow. That's what I think. I mean, it's a theory. It's a theory, a Theo theory. I think the sun will rise.
New Kirby, it's not going to be Metroid Prime. It's going to be something smaller, much smaller. But everyone's going to buy it because they want another game for their Switch too, because Nintendo created artificial scarcity.
This is like so stupid. It's such a stupid fucking statement.
Now, I know for a lot of people this is hard to hear. They don't want to hear it. They want to believe that Nintendo is like the best gaming company ever, and they're above criticism and above.
Of course, write my criticism of his criticism off as I'm just a Nintendo fan that loves everything Nintendo, and I think Nintendo's flawless. What a great guy to have a conversation with.
They have the best of intentions for everyone. They're just a company, just like every other company. They're out to make money. They're out to please people who are in positions of power. I don't know if they're publicly traded and they have shareholders. I don't know that.
Yeah, who knows, right? Nobody knows.
That's all they are. They're just a company like any
other company. He doesn't even know that they have a stock.
Oh, we're better than them. You know what I'm saying? Kind of a deal. They're not. They're not any better than another company. They just.
But again, I will run this into the ground. He has years. I would argue maybe his entire career of him saying, guys, companies should space out their games. Nintendo spaces their games out, and it's wrong, and bad, and evil, and stupid. It's just to make money. So then why were you telling all these other companies to do that if it's a money-making maneuver, right? And not one that you wanted them to do because you wanted to buy all of them. Man, it's almost like you're just full of shit, dude. Come on.
Things differently, that's for sure. But I don't think like we should be ignoring the fact that this year we're seeing a lot of things out of Nintendo that should be criticized. Okay? Right now.
Yeah, nobody criticized the Switch 2. 0 people. There was no criticisms. That Nero video I mentioned, yeah, that's not a real video, guys. I lied. It was a fake video. And if you did find it and he says some criticisms, just so you know, it's fake. You're not watching it. You're not watching the video. Go touch carpet. Touch carpet so you know you're on the ground, as DSP would say.
Now I was expecting Bonanza to be this incredible, blow you away style game like Odyssey was. And instead, it's kind of like you're going to a restaurant and you're sitting down to eat a gourmet meal and you've heard so much about this restaurant, everyone raves about it, and you know you're going to pay more to eat there. And you sit down and you get your food, you start to eat like, it's not bad, but it's not great. What is everyone raving about this restaurant? But now you're part of the people who've been to that restaurant.
What?
See? You start to eat like, it's not bad, but it's not great. What is everyone raving about this restaurant? But now you're part of the people who've been to that restaurant. See?
See? But that's not what you're gonna think. You're gonna go to the restaurant and be like, it's whatever. Like, you know, I saw the latest Superman movie. It was good. It was a good Superman. I did like it. I did like the movie. But I do think that there is a degree of gas that people did for the movie. Like, I liked some of the decisions. I liked overall that it was a more colorful movie, and I liked that Superman was more upbeat, because I kind of feel like that's what we needed from Superman, instead of like, oh, what if Superman felt sad? Oh, Superman, like I did not like the Henry Cavill Superman like at all. Like it wasn't the worst thing, but I didn't care for it. I like the Superman a lot more. I like the actor, so it is good in that way, and I do also like that Lex Luthor was just a dude that just hated Superman. Just he's doing all this stuff. Like, yeah, I'm doing all this stuff, but I'm just doing it because I fucking hate you, Superman. I'm doing this to get to you. Like, I appreciate the hate. I appreciate the level of hate Lex Luthor had in this movie. That's the level of villain I want to see more of. Just a dude that just hates the hero, and that's all he needs to go on. But I would probably give this movie like a 7 or 8 out of 10. Like, it's solid. It's a solid movie. I don't think you'd be bored, but I do kind of wish the fight scenes were a little bit better. There was one fight scene I kind of liked where Superman like he grabbed this lady and just like kind of like rolled, and like she would just hit the ground every time he rolled. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. But there was not a lot of like moments like that. It's not bad, but the other good scene was like with Mr. Terrific. I like Mr. Terrific in this movie. Solid character. There you go. A little mini Superman review.
Oh, well, I went to that really hard to get into restaurant and I paid a lot
But
of money.
I'm special. I'm in the in crowd, guys.
So you act like it's a big deal, even if it's not.
I'm hyped for James
That's
Gunn
how I feel
reloading
right now about
is
DK
gone
Bonanza.
for Supergirl. Yes.
So I don't know. All right, I guess we'll have to see. As I continue with the game, will my opinion change? But Nintendo seems to be pulling a fast one. Well, not really a fast one. It's just that people can see it if they look at it with an objective eye. But the problem...
Okay, but I don't care because I was gonna play these 2 games. I'm gonna buy the games I want to buy. Like, okay. Whoa! Oh my God, the war. They're releasing games once a month or whatever the fuck. Oh no. Okay. And
problem is no one looks at Nintendo with the same objective eye that they look at other companies. Instead, it's like Nintendo is the company.
Okay, but like, look at what other companies do, right? Microsoft releases Hi-Fi Rush. Everyone loves the game. They shut down the studio. Everyone likes Tango Gameworks. Microsoft buys them, shuts down the studio. Oh, Halo was a good franchise, run to the ground, now it's trash. Like, are these companies to aspire to? Like, at least Nintendo is consistent with what they're putting out and what they know what some people want, right?
Company that we're supposed to believe only has good intentions, is a good feel-good company.
Nobody is... How old is DSP? To think that people think that Nintendo is not a company. Like, and I love he says this when every time that there's like a litigious debate about Nintendo, DSP is always like, I don't know, man. Like, come on. Like, Nintendo is a very litigious company. Come on.
Company, they're above reproach, they're above criticism. No, they're not. They've made big missteps. One of the major reasons that Nintendo is still existing today is because they sold little figurines called amiibos.
No, that's not why. Like, Iwata, sacrifices his paycheck to keep the company afloat. Like, that's what he did. The amiibos did nothing because the amiibos needed the Wii U, the console that wasn't selling. So how can that save a company, Phil? That's like you offering a subscription to Kick while you're not streaming on Kick. Like, what good is a Kick sub then? I can't use it. You're not streaming on Kick.
That had zero value, but they sold them, and their fan base was so crazy to support Nintendo. They spent millions upon millions of dollars on these.
I love that he thinks that Nintendo fans spent millions of dollars. Who are these people? This is like really stupid. This is kind of embarrassing. I think he should just not. He should just stop acknowledging Nintendo's existence and just stick with PlayStation or something.
Pointless little pieces of plastic. When Nintendo should have been selling games and weren't, they were selling collectibles. That's what saved them.
This is coming from the guy that he filed for bankruptcy, and in order to keep his business afloat, he would wear a vest every $100. That's what he did to keep his company afloat, was to wear a vest. And have people pay money to have him put on a vest. Okay.
But we can't criticize them. Yes, we can.
We can't criticize Phil,
Yes,
guys.
we absolutely can. We can have honest conversations about this company.
Yeah, not from you,
I
though.
have shout outs to do. Let me do them. And then I want to get your feedback. I want to get the audience's opinion on all this.
Okay.
You've already played all of Odyssey. How can you make the comparison? That's a lie. I got D and said it took you 6 hours to get to the second world in Donkey Kong Bonanza. You've already played all of Odyssey. How can you make the comparison? That's a lie.
What?
I got to the second world in 4 hours of Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Okay.
I spent about 90
okay. Semantics.
minutes in the second world last night, and then we went to another area, which is technically the second layer of the second world, I believe, because it's the same crystal people or whatever.
Still the second
So that's wrong.
world.
Again, I love the people who criticize.
Man, see how fun it is to have, like, I want to see people's conversation. I don't think it's fair you did this. Okay, look at this, okay? I'm actually on the, I did this in this amount of time, blah, 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 blah. Okay, get that?
Who criticize but didn't actually watch the content. You didn't watch it. You're just full of shit. You just want to say everything I do is wrong. So here's what I can say. I don't care. Thanks for $1.50.
I don't care. Okay, what if Nintendo did that? Okay, what if, Nintendo should say, okay, DSP thinks that, that the amiibos, saved our company. We have the data, and it debunks that. It's not that. It was Iwata. Iwata saved the company, not the amiibos. So, whatever criticism DSP had is pointless and stupid. Thanks for wasting everyone's time, Phil. Ah, yes. I bet he'd love that.
I got a $2 tip.
Tried so hard to, like,
Don't drop.
And you know that's why he said that. He focused on the first half. He knew the second half was fair criticism. So in order to discredit that, he said, "Well, you got that wrong, idiot. So clearly you're arguing bad faith and you're dumb. I win." Which is like very childish. Like a very, like, this is why it's such a waste of time to talk to him, because it's just confirmation bias he looks for. So like, if you actually disagree with him, he's like, "Oh, you think this? Well, it's just your opinion, man." That's like the best you can do. That's the best outcome. Is he'll just say it's your opinion, man, and then leave it at that. At worst, he'll say you're stupid and call you an idiot. But he'll always say, "Oh, you think it's a scam too? Yeah, very meaningful."
Drop DK until you reach the second world. I already reached the second world. Thanks for $2. Boy, people are just fucking stupid. I mean, you gotta be a mouth
fucking
cooler.
stupid.
I'm in the second world right now, stupid. Okay.
The other guy basically said, wait.
I'm in the second world right
He's in the second world. Right now.
now, stupid.
Right now. I'm in the second world. Right now. Phil, it took you 6 hours to get into the second world. No! I'm actually in the lower half of the second world, so I'm in the oh my god, dude, can he just, like, fucking, like, just, I don't know, play with some bleach or something? I don't know what kids do these days.
Okay.
Cat should take him to daycare. I think he needs a nap.
Let's continue. We have super chats. First super chat of the day is from Envy. Is when I react to movie trailers.
Okay, I'm over with this. Because he's not really. That was the interaction. That was the interaction of that. What was that segment? Okay.
I don't know why the heck they didn't just have a checkpoint there, so if you fall, you just resume.
Okay. Let's see what he had to talk about in the podcast. We're gonna sadly go to the cold open, I guess. As they say.
Good morning, everyone. On today's show, we recap the crazy day that was yesterday.
By the way, the yesterday podcast, I may do a video on it. I'm not sure, but he did the one sin I wish he gets punished for. He keeps hyping up talking points that he just magically doesn't have time to get to, and then he never goes back to them. Like, he was like, yeah, we're gonna talk about Evo, and the trolls are trying to make me say things, so we're gonna talk about it. And then he never talked about it, and then he never will. It's like, even as a fan, they should be, it should be annoying. And I guarantee if someone says, Phil, it's annoying when you do this, you'll be like, I like to tickle your balls, okay? It's just to make sure you stay tuned and watch the podcast. I just want to tickle your balls a bit. This dude loves tickling his viewers' balls. It's really weird and nasty.
And how it has now led to us needing to find a brand new subject for DSP Tries It. This time around, it's going to be a little different because I'm not doing any kind of crazy national chains.
Remember, people asked him to do non-national chains in the past and blah, 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 and he always hit them with, people love DSP Tries It because I would eat the food and then you could go get the food. He always said that. Always. He always praised DSP Tries It for that very thing. And now he's not doing the thing that he said was the whole point of DSP Tries It. He called it dumb. Dumb and stupid to do local food.
In addition, today is the return of Donkey Kong Bonanza. And in
Which
the
we
last
hate.
few days, I've gotten some feedback regarding my playthrough and people who are playing the game. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that and how to approach this playthrough moving forward.
Oh my god, we're gonna get the Expedition 33 treatment. I'm just gonna go through the game, and then if you guys like it, I'll do more, or whatever the fuck. That's what he's gonna do. Oh, gross.
Forward. Plus, I'm not doing a podcast tomorrow, so we'll have opportunity today for some extensive Q&A. So if anyone has any topics or
Q&A. Oh my god, I feel so bad for anyone who watched this fucking podcast.
things they want to discuss, we can get it addressed. All this and more on today's episode of the Level 1 Podcast.
Oh my god, gross. Gross. Let's just jump ahead.
4 goals. We hit 5 support goals. Yeah.
Okay,
Explain it to me here.
we're
I'd be
jerking.
open to try to figuring out what on earth is going on with this situation that everyone's discussing. I know what Stop Killing Games.
Oh my god, we're gonna talk about stuff because he was in a Twitter thread, and this is so stupid. It's so. Oh my god, dude. This is the dumbest way DSP got introduced as Stop Killing Games and all this stuff around it, because he didn't care when it was going on initially. And he only cares about it because people are like making fun of him or whatever the fuck. It is so fucking. Oh my god, this shirt. I just noticed this is probably the worst it has been with sleeve length. Like dude, if my mom saw this, she would not let him leave the house, let alone his room until he wore a normal shirt. Like she'd probably bully him until he did it too. Like she would not let it slide. She'd yell at him. She'd probably like say that he's a waste of life until he changed his clothes. But this dude, oh man.
Games is Stop Killing Games is a movement where people are trying to do is make sure that games don't get retired permanently and are unplayable, that they have some posterity, right? That you can preserve them for future generations
also like
to
so
understand.
that
For
stores
example,
don't
one of the
just
major problems right
stop
now with
selling
gaming
games,
is that you have these
right?
only online games, but then once the servers are retired years after the games are old and no one's really playing them anymore, now they're unplayable. So all you have is a memory or gameplay footage, but no one can actually play it. Also, I think there was a problem back in the day, like in the 2000s with PC games, where they were putting DRM and shit on the game so that you needed to like go online and log into an account to play the game. But now those online services don't exist anymore, so the games are completely unplayable.
Right.
So I guess what
okay.
they're trying to do is find ways to get around that to preserve games. Sounds like a great movement to me. I don't.
Okay, then why didn't you talk about it? Like this is what's so aggravating. This is like, well, people should get together and do this. Dude did a crowdfunding campaign or whatever to do it. DSP didn't research it to like click to like shout it out and to get. I mean, even if he did, he would do it wrong. He would say, "Oh yeah, do this," but he would never give you the link to go to support them because that'd be bad, right? But like he could have just, but he doesn't spread awareness, and then like, but now it's like too late because I think you can't support it now or whatever the fuck. I mean, I think they succeeded. I think from what I remember. I mean, I'm you know, whatever, right? But this dude literally didn't talk about it when it was relevant at all. And then over time, he says, yeah, he thought the dude, Pirate Software, worked with, was the one doing Stop Killing Games when it was this guy shitting on them and being wrong about it and then doubling down on it. And then the only reason why he's talking about it was because someone said, well, if these two were locked in a room and one of them had to admit that they were wrong, and they'll have to admit to they're wrong and then they can leave. How long would they last or whatever? I'm like, since there's a reward, DSP will admit he did something wrong. Because there's a reward. He has to get a reward. Like, he won't do it for any other reason than a reward. Like, literally, that's the only way he'll admit he's wrong, if he sees that he can get a tangible reward.
I don't see a single problem with that. That all makes sense to me completely. I don't know why anyone would not even be supporting that movement.
He didn't, but then why didn't you talk about it? It was so common sense. He didn't even understand it.
I'm actually genuinely confused why someone would be against the preservation.
Oh my god, he's gonna join everyone into shitting on Pirate Software. The easiest dude to hate. I hate when he does this because, like, technically DSP is also kind of the easiest guy to hate, right? So, it would have been kind of funny if DSP was like, guys, he just doesn't know any better. Like, maybe you just have to talk to him or whatever the fuck. But no, he's gonna join in on the dog pile because it's easy.
And posterity of games. Like, what's wrong with that? I don't get it. That would be like right now, here's,
oh my god,
as the accurate arcade version that I play. Like, there's no actual way for me to play Super Turbo.
Oh my god.
So that you can play the real
gross. Shut up.
Version. I don't have the, and I would love to play it. And
you can still play Super Turbo. You play it every week. Well, no, you don't. But it's in the 30th anniversary collection. That's like fine.
I just don't have any way to do that. Well, if Stop Killing Games is working on ways to do that, then I'm 100% for it. 100%. I don't.
No. Stop Killing Games would not revive the arcade cabinet of Super Turbo or whatever the fuck. It like, oh my god, dude, just shut up.
See a problem with it. So if that's the case, right? I don't know who the hell this Pirate Games guy is or what, anything about him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. But then again, like I said, I've never heard him. I've never read any of his methodology. I don't know why everyone hates him. Besides, everyone says he's a Nepo baby and
a Nepo baby. I don't know why people hate him. I just know he's a Nepo baby.
Pitch changes his voice to sound like he's a deep voice dude because actually he has a high pitched squeaky.
I think that's someone else, because isn't that what they said about... No, maybe not. Because, I mean, even before all this, I knew there's a Twitter account by Pirate Nation that a lot of people go to show memes and all this stuff. But I also know there's also people who don't like Pirate Nation, but it might be, but he might be talking about Pirate Software. I feel like I've heard them say the pitch changes with Pirate Nation, I thought, but I'm probably wrong. Maybe it is Pirate Software. So never mind, I'm wrong. It's just all these pirates, man, all these fucking pirates. The only pirate I know is One Piece, dude.
Squeaky mouse voice, and he changed it so that people wouldn't make.
But I love that the thing that DSP knows is stuff like this, not the character he is, like, or the kind of person he is, right? He only knows the stuff that people would be bullied for. Like, I knew that this dude lied or didn't understand what Stop Killing Games was, and then when people told him he was wrong, he doubled down on it and still was a piece of shit about it. And then and that is what I don't like about him. But DSP, of course, focuses on these superficial... Like, I don't give a fuck that people use pitch changers. Like, everyone, like, would do that if they don't want to, like, identifiable things on the internet. Like what DSP says to his audience all the time, that they should protect their identity. Like, unless they're using it in like malicious, predatory ways, then that's wrong, obviously. But like, if they're just doing it like, oh, I'm playing Street Fighter and I'm just gonna have a voice changer to make me sound like Eno from Guilty Gear, like, who cares? But if I'm doing that to like get people to be like, oh, I gotta give this person there might be a hot chick there, then that's fucked up, etc., etc.
And make fun of him on the internet. That's all I know about.
Okay, of course, that's all he knows about him.
All right, so let's keep doing shout outs and let's. All right, he said, oh, I don't want to show you who I am. I know I'm getting older. I don't hide anything.
What?
Say what you will about me. All right, say what you will about me, but
oh man,
I don't hide anything when it comes to, my physical appearance, my voice. Never. I've never been someone who hid and said, oh, I don't want to show you who I am. I know I'm getting older. I know I'm losing some of my hair. I know my hair's getting gray.
Then why do you get mad when people say your hairline's fucked up, Phil?
I'm getting a wrinkly face. My voice has always been this high-pitched, and I'm not trying to hide it. You know what I mean? Like right now, I could put a voice changer on my voice to make my voice sound deeper, but why?
Like, I wouldn't say it's high-pitched, and he has a lot of filters on, too, but his voice is just weird. It's
Why would
a
I
weird
care?
voice.
I am who I am, and I represent myself, change my appearance, and I'm not ashamed of who I am. I'm trying to age gracefully. I'm not, trying to.
But you don't have to
pretend
say
like
that.
I'm, I'm going to pitch change my voice. I'm going to change my appearance. I'm not doing that. So I don't even understand that.
What if
guys like LTG saying work on your sexy. The fuck are you talking?
Okay. He just said I'm trying to age gracefully. Well, how can you try to age gracefully, right? You don't choose how to age. You age because you're a human. Like, if you want to age gracefully and all this stuff and delicately like a dumbass, then you're gonna take steps to age gracefully, right? That's working on your sexy, correct?
What are you talking about? I'm an internet gamer.
He also brags about like doing exercises,
every day.
workouts.
Why do I have to work on my sexy? I'm not a fucking supermodel who's going to be walking down the runway in Milan showing off fucking Gucci clothes. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're a delusional idiot.
Then why don't you wear your gamer shirts again? Why are we wearing these corny ass button down shirts that break every day?
Exactly. I don't hide the fact that some of my undershirts are longer than the sleeves of my overshirts. I don't give a shit.
Dude, this is like a hobo bragging that they have holes in their socks. Dude, I have holes in my socks. Like, okay, dude, but you can't afford a sock. Oh, man.
Why would I give a shit? I'm okay with myself.
Okay, then why isn't he wearing his gamer shirts again? What happened to... Remember when he used to wear the King of Retro shirt? What happened to that shirt? Why does he wear these shirts? Why aren't those shirts in the rotation? Why is it only this during the summertime? Then in the wintertime, it's long shirts. Then, like, why dress like this like you're a cartoon character? Okay.
Sad that there's some people out there that just can't do that, that they have to constantly be working on how they look or how they sound or how, you know what I mean? Just fucking stop. Stop and face reality. It doesn't matter. None of it fucking matters. You're wasting your time and everyone laughs at you.
What if they like to dye their hair though? Like, he thinks that everyone does out of insecurity, but what if they just like...
All right,
like doing
let's continue. Thank you, Sarah, for the gifted sub.
Okay.
Envy Elroy did a $2 super chat. Can you wear a tie when you play Donkey Kong? Joking. I'm ready for some bananas. I'm pretty sure they sell a Donkey Kong tie, don't they?
He has a tie. He has a tie. But guess what? He's not going to wear it for free. If we in there, I'll put on a tie like DK.
Probably do. I'm sure I could get one, but no, I don't think I'm going to get a tie just for the playthrough.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. NBA Dude did a £2 super chat and says, "Whoa, buddy." That's something I haven't heard in a long time, thankfully. My headaches have subsided. I don't have to hear that and the fucking constant ringing of a fucking stupid...
Okay, how often did they ring the dinner bell? The dinner bell? Well, you know what I mean. The triangle. When DSP was there. He acts as if all PvP did was... for like hours, and he didn't. But okay.
dinner bell chime.
Oh, he's a dinner
So
bell
that's like the
too.
Pied Piper of the mentally deficient. And oh my God,
You can find clips of DSP doing all the time. You can make a montage. Like, that's more than an hour. Like, you can make a long ass montage if you really wanted to of how many times DSP does clown mode. Like, he can't mock this. Get out of here. Shut the fuck up.
I'm so happy to be out of that vortex, let me tell you. 4 months. 4 months I've been out of that shit. I don't have to hear or see any of that shit. It's amazing. It's so refreshing
Then why did
to
you
be back to the normal fucking world.
Again, he vetted these people. He looked into these people to do the snake arc with. So he knew, well, supposedly, that these people were loud and this and that. So then why did he join if you knew it was going to annoy the fuck out of you? Doesn't he mock people for watching people they hate if they know they hate them? I mean, at least I'm watching Phil. I can close the tab. DSP had to, like, work with these people that he was annoyed with.
World outside of the realm of complete morons. Anyway, thanks for a $2 super chat.
Ha ha ha.
And his statue is everywhere, and it reads, "Work on yo sexy." Yeah, or what if LTG was like Kang the Conqueror, and there's like 70 billion.
We are still talking about drama. Okay.
Very happened. Scroll up the screen.
Oh, he is like King of the Conqueror. Like, yeah, okay.
Defense is, it's all 100 million to 1 billion view video on YouTube, right? Like Kang the Conqueror, and there's like 70 billion multiverse versions of him, all slight variations, but they're all equally just as fucking obnoxious and delusional.
I don't know. I kind of feel like LTG is less delusional than DSP
Oh,
is.
man. All right. Besides for having bad code, his defense is, what happened? Nice. What's up, Jade? You're welcome. It's all good. Sidious says another funny thing about Pirate, his game is criticized for having bad code. His defense is, what happened? Scroll up the screen. His defense is,
He had bad code.
the game is so well optimized it runs on a fridge. Later proved it was only streamed. Huh?
Okay.
I don't get it.
Cool.
NBA Dude, thanks for another super chat. Just please keep sending them. Especially if you're gonna leave messages like that, please just keep sending them.
Yeah,
you're really felting me. I'm being so felted when you send me money. So please keep felting me as much as you can.
Yeah, it's gonna keep him around until
It's
he's
hilarious.
like,
People don't
Phil, I
understand
want to
the
fuck your
concept of what
wife.
felted
Then
means.
he's gonna get banned.
Are you aware of what the term even means? Okay, felted means.
Oh my god, I did not know the term of felting until like that documentary came out. That they talk about DSP and Kino Casino. Really funny that documentary came out and DSP is now explaining the meaning of felting. Oh, very sus timing on that one, buddy.
So you're doing the opposite. You were
okay.
Thanks for the tip, though. No, they have released collections with Super Turbo, but they literally haven't had a collection that's good with Super Turbo. Well, in Super Turbo, Blanca is all and you can't do it. Then there was a note.
I don't care.
So for the rack, and I can't go. Killdozer, how you doing, man? Good to see you.
Hey, Killdozer.
Killdozer, again, I want to apologize to you. I would love to host you someday, but I never think of hosting at the end of my streams. It's not something that I think about.
Yeah, because he doesn't care. Like, I love that he only hosts people who have, like, big followings or people who suck his dick, like Killdozer.
And because I do Killdozer, he got his channel verified and everything.
Oh, is he going to suck your dick later
DSP
tonight?
Tries it. Because there's 3 actually really good options. Not even a ghost kitchen. Okay. So we got 3 places that I'd like to place American fakes. On top is Wizard and MLB dogs or something like that. But again, I can't even show you like a website. It's on some of the things, whether it be a side or.
Okay, I don't get it.
Don't have barbecue for DSP.
Gourmet dogs. Gourmet sandwiches.
Okay.
Gourmet hot dogs, I think, is kind of funny. It's kind of funny. I think of Merle Oral, where Oral thinks he has God inside him, and he's like, I can't eat a street dog. Only the best for God. And he gets like a gourmet dog, and it's like at a 5-star restaurant. It just looks so funny. Like, you're eating a hot dog, dude.
To end, like bargain prices. They were slashing prices to get.
Okay, slashing prices.
Excuse me. Mr. Mark just did a €10 super chat. Greetings from German 11
Okay.
Tit. From Interesting and Rage, Tape 1. I never played Tape 2. Fatal Fury City of the Wolves beta. Like a top of the
Okay.
line. When an AC game was coming out, you knew you were going to.
And then it shits on Shadows. Why not?
Do I miss East Coast food like Jake's Wayback and Burgers and Dutchess? Jake's
Dude, he cries about missing the East Coast food. I'm not listening to that.
Dong did a $2 super chat and said, banana.
So
Well,
the
thank
guy
you,
who said
Conky
PWR
Dong.
Army is dumb and stupid, but a dude says that is great because he gets to suck his mic. Remember when he said he doesn't want to
We're now
suck
to
his
$60
mic?
of support.
But look where
so
he
more
puts
than a
the
third of
mic
the way to our
now.
goal. Can we get to halfway to
Wow.
our goal before? No idea. I would have to go look at the market and see what's out there. I have no clue. I haven't followed cars in a while. My last car I got in 2017. So, I'm hoping that car will last a while. I don't want to have to buy a car because we don't drive. So the car barely has any miles on it.
We don't drive. Dude, if Cat found a way to get to work without using the car, then DSP should be very embarrassed. Because this dude had a stream where people were telling him, use the bus, do this to go to your job. And he was like, no, the bus breaks down all the time and explodes, and then people there are all gonna, kill me. But now Cat can use public transportation. Because he has to drive to go to work, I assume.
But if I do have to get a new one at some point, I'd have to see what's out there. I don't even know what's available anymore.
How long does he think a car lasts? A car is not like a computer. You could have a car far beyond 10 years. You could have a car for as long as you want. It's a car, right?
Plus, they're trying to do bullshit in my state where they're trying to outlaw gas cars and say that you have to have an electric car, which is insane.
Loki, he could use an electric car. He doesn't go that far anyway. But that's probably not going to last because, we apparently hate alternatives and things like that. So don't worry, Phil. Gas cars will not go anywhere.
Because we don't have enough charging stations and our electric grid would never support it.
You can just charge it at home. You don't need to go leave your home to charge it. You could install one in your dumbass house.
If passed laws saying that apparently this has to go into effect in the next few years, I think our lawmakers out here are fucking insane. So that's why I want to keep my gas car for now and see what happens. I get the feeling what's going to happen is it's going to go into effect and everything's going to fall apart and they're going to have to roll it back right away and they're all going to look like embarrassed jackasses. But
I hope that doesn't happen.
Only the future will tell.
I hope it doesn't happen. I hope Washington proves electric cars rule.
Last concert I attended, when I was going to gaming conventions back in the day, like over a decade ago,
you didn't go
I went to a lot of different concerts they would hold at the convention.
Yeah, you wouldn't go to
those
official
are the
gaming
last concerts
concerts
I
like
heard
the
in
near
person.
ones. I want to go to another
$2.57.
concert.
Take a look again at. I wouldn't have played chess. I wouldn't have played the would have been limited. So completely changed. Every tough for me was if there wasn't a lot of big AAA releases of them anymore. Other kinds of games like driving with the wheel. There's no downtime anymore. This is one of the best summers I've ever had. Take a look. We're only halfway into the summer. I have so much to do. I can't do it all. Summer used to be the dead time where we didn't know what to do. Change now. Absolutely, this has made my content better.
Remember when all these retro games you played that you love so much, these were always filler games. That's massively
cool. Come back and hang out with me every day. I was stuck. I'm right there with everyone else, able to play everything. Great. More than Scorpion.
What?
Scorpion or Sub-Zero? I was mostly a Sub-Zero guy.
Yeah, probably because of Steve Blum.
In the United States, the Switch 2 is becoming more and more available. Meaning, for example, let's say one of our stores, like Walmart or Best Buy, and it's regular price. There's no markups here. It's still like $4.50. And do they have warranty or service? There is warranty. Any Switch you get a Nintendo of America warranty. I don't know how long it is. Probably like a year, 2 years.
Okay.
So you do get the official warranty. Someone asked, what the cost of the Switch is. What's the availability now? Have things.
Oh my God, this dude, you're on the internet. What? How much is your Switch 2? Oh man, are you a fucking grandpa?
Change.
Like, I'm sorry. Like that's it's so stupid. You're asking DSP how much is a
What about
Switch
you
2?
play a variety of games that normally Forza games?
Oh man.
He wasn't. There's different personality
So if Jasper's here, then that must mean Cat's at work. So she had to have driven, right?
types for cats. Jasper is
Wait, cats have different personalities? That's news to me.
green personality type, which means he's very, very personable.
Oh my god, dude. I hate how he talks about cats. Like, I know zoomies is an actual cat term, and it's a real thing. But when I first heard from him, I wanted to say it's dumb. But it's a real thing. Zoomies are real. I was so mad when I found that out. I was like, you really you couldn't find another word? It has to be zoomies. Like, it has to be.
He'll come right up to you. He'll rub you. He wants pets. He wants licks. He wants interaction. He wants to play. The problem is, he wants to be the only pet.
I don't understand this though. Okay, he says he's a social cat. He loves people, but then he was like, "Yeah, if another person comes in, Jasper would be traumatized. He would have like a PTSD." But you just said now he loves people, but he wants to be the only cat. I mean, every cat wants to be the only cat. That's why you have to like walk them through to get to be okay with another cat. It's just like he won't say this. He probably doesn't know what people have to do to like get a second cat. Like, you have to like put a wall up and everything, because that's what happened with my brother's cats. Like, when they got Yuxi, like they had to like, get 2 litter boxes and then like slowly introduce them to each other. It's hard. It's a hard process. Like, I would not do that because I would be stressed out of my mind to do that, because I wouldn't want the cats to like kill each other.
He does not want any other pet to take his spot in this house. When other animals come around, like even if there's an animal outside, he freaks out. Okay? He gets angry and upset. He starts hissing. We used to have a cat that would come by outside. He would go nuts, go crazy, wanting to attack the cat.
Oh my god, dude. It's like they're territorial. Whoa.
The problem is, if we were to introduce another
do they
cat
fix Jasper
to the household,
do
like
they
let's say
take
we
his
had another
balls?
cat or another dog, he would be the kind of cat that would be incredibly upset. You've now disturbed his living situation. He's lived in this house now, for over 5-6 years.
Oh my god, dude, it's not that big of a deal.
To add another pet, he would freak out and he'd probably immediately start acting up, doing bad things, being destructive, peeing and pooping all over the house.
That's if you don't fix them.
And the thing is, he doesn't
like, that's what happens if you don't fix them. They do that.
That's not his fault that's his personality.
Oh my god.
That's just how he is. I feel like if we were to bring another pet into the house now, that would be very selfish for us because we know how he is and we know that, he's happy. Why now disturb his happiness just for us to have another pet?
What if you would be happier with another cat?
Reasons, right? We're happy with Jasper Kitty. So,
oh my god, this dude is so
in the future,
dumb.
when
he has
things,
to die.
change, because, pets pass away.
Well, they do.
We're not rushing that at all. We really enjoy Jasper.
Dude, I'm sorry. These little segments where he talks about Jasper dying, it does sound like he's counting down the days. Like, he's like, he has to die. In order to live, he has to die first. He has to die. Like, who talks like that? Like, if I started talking that about my brother's cat, they probably would stop talking to me. They'd be like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
A very long and happy life with us. But one day, we might look to do a dog or another cat or another kind of pet situation.
You want to do a dog?
We're not doing it right now.
Like, this dude was like saying that Jasper would like would disturb the streams. A dog would more so. They'd fucking bark, dude.
Gabriel, how are you? $2 thon stuff. We're gonna try to make advantage. We'll just do that tonight. Never liked. Every week I call my parents, and that I don't live there anymore.
What? Is it every 3 weeks?
Let me put it this way. Literally every week I call my parents and they're complaining about how bad the weather is. They're like, oh my God, it's insanely hot. The hurricane came through, fucking torrential downpour.
Okay.
Crazy heat. And then in the winter, oh my God, it's fucking cold as hell. There's ice outside.
Oh my God. Dude, like, the humidity is bad. I agree with that, but like, and the hurricanes can be hurricanes, but I mean, dude, I don't mind the rain. Like, we don't get it as bad as like other states, but man, the humidity is probably the one thing I hate the most. Like, the heat but man, I learned to love the snow.
I'm glad I don't have any of that.
Okay, but he bitches about weather all the time. He bitches about weather all the time.
Find it. The Zelda game is Zelda Link to the Past. She
What was the dumb
favorite
question?
SNES game?
Oh my god, I
All
don't
insanely.
care.
This is sadly there's pros and cons to having a rescue animal. When you have a rescue animal,
He literally said Jasper was a rescue. He rescued Jasper. And now he's saying that that rescue animals are tough. Oh my god, man.
unless you have a full history, you don't really know how old the animal is. Like I don't know. By the way, Jasper was in the window. Hi, Jasper. Hello. He's coming out of the window right now. He poked
Oh
his
my
head
god.
out. We don't know how old Jasper is. I wish we did know, but when we rescued him, we were told, oh, he could be 2, he could be 3, he could be 4. We're not sure. So he could be much younger than we think. He could
What if
end
the
up being
blood
much
work would have told
older
you?
than we think.
Like,
So we actually don't know.
whatever.
We look for signs, and the only thing I will say is every once in a while when he tries to make a jump now, like he
He
wants
has
to
the
jump on the
package.
dresser, he wants to jump here, there, he slips a little bit. But it's not often. It's like every once in a while. And the thing
Oh
is,
my
he
god,
used to
dude. Like, come on. Like, oh man.
slip. He used to be like super duper
He's
sure.
acting as if like Jasper is a senior citizen. Like, oh, you know, like, okay.
Footing and but he's still incredibly agile. He still runs around the house constantly. He's full of energy. He does all the things he did when he was younger. So we don't think he's getting old. Maybe just slightly older,
You know.
For kitty. Pet you. No. You should try soloing the Ender Dragon. He's not that all the time. And you know what you're doing and you know how to get the resources. I don't know how to do that shit.
I remember he used to hype up facing the Ender Dragon at the end of his Twitch Minecraft run. And then he never did it. And we never will.
I'm just dragons. I don't think further from the truth. I read all the messages on Kick, hanging out with Kino Casino, and now that's chat is mostly, not all, but mostly LARPing idiots. People who actually don't like me or holdovers who liked me when I was hanging out with Kino Casino.
So then why
and
don't
now
you
that's
ban them?
all over with for 4 months for the record, but they're still hanging out in that chat. So they just sit there saying the most dumb shit, and I ignore them until finally something happens that's intelligent or nice, and then I'll respond.
Oh. So why don't you just ban these people if it's poisoning your chat?
You get it? How are you?
You get it?
I actually really enjoyed Dave the Diver, and I want.
Okay.
Will we see that again?
Oh my god, I'm scared what he did. What did he do?
Jade said, ooh. If someone did
Okay.
a $20 contribution, we get into animation again, memberships here on YouTube, because the YouTube audience who talks is just much more intelligent.
Oh my god, dude. If you're gonna pit your audience like this, then just give up on Kick. Or ban these people who are toxic. Why keep them around if it's to the point where you're shitting on an entire... Like, imagine you're part of the Kick audience, and this dude is sitting there like, yeah, not everyone, but everyone there is stupid. Like, come on, just ban them then. But you know what would happen?
They're not there to meme and be toxic and stupid. A lot of the Kick viewers are there just to meme and be toxic and...
He's afraid to moderate because he's afraid of being called out for banning. He's terrified of being called Nazi chat again. Even though, like, they would say that anyway. If you ban one person, they'll say that anyway.
Which is why I talk to Jade back and forth conversations. Jade is a viewer who's been around for many, many years. He's been supportive over the years.
No, he knows Jade is disabled, so DSP is definitely that kind of guy that will do anything for disabled so he can look like it's all performative.
But also just generally not a nice person, which is why I talk to Jade back and forth conversations. A viewer who's been around for many, many years. He's been supportive over the years, but also just generally not a nice person.
He marble mouthed so bad. He said he's not a nice person. He marble mouthed it to say he's not a nice person. I really hope people caught that because that is quite a thing to say about Jade.
Which is why I talk to Jade back and forth
That's
conversation.
why I talk about to him. He's not a nice person. Like everyone knew what he meant, but he marble mouthed so bad.
People. So in general, hanging out with the YouTube audience is a lot more chill. If I try to interact with the Kick audience, I got to put up with these stupid.
We are still doing this, dude. Then ban the people who are bad. But then he's like, well, then they'll make another account. Then ban that account. I'm so sorry that banning accounts is part of being a streamer, Phil. I'm so sorry you have to do that.
Stupid fucking bullshit memes and detractor shit. Like, oh God.
And again, he said that stuff is all bannable offenses, and he's like, yeah, they're just doing it. So then they're not. So then why have it be part of the rules then?
Review Felted North Carolina. And as you guys know, I'm an incredible proof. So I can North Korea.
Oh my God, what is the joke?
That gets us up to 69. And as you guys know, I'm an incredible proof.
Oh.
So I cannot have it sit at 69. We need to have someone contribute right now.
Are you kidding me?
So we can get off of the number 69, or else I'll be incredibly offended.
Okay, no, he did type it out. I thought he wasn't going to because he wanted people to do that.
And there may be like one more. There's not. Thank you. 72. Sonic Generation, Sonic single game that's ever. So I'd have to say Mario over.
Oh my God.
Like, I really have enjoyed his games over the years. And the biggest, best platformer ever for me was always Super Mario World. So I'd have to say Mario over Sonic, although I do love Sonic.
Okay.
What does that mean, Spawn Killer? What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
What does that mean?
Dude.
Do I know why my Spider-Man games go popular? What on the earth does that mean, Spawn Killer? What are you talking about? What does that mean?
You have a popular whatever, okay.
Hopefully it's great. Spider-Man games, they always get popular. No, not today. Back in the day they did, and here's why.
Oh my God.
Marvel get those day one views, and back then the algorithm worked very show up. Even if you weren't searching for up. Even Spider-Man Shattered Spowers.
Oh my God, we're doing this. What is this podcast is bad.
I'd be out of business.
Oh my God.
And I think what it is they found a way to use the YouTube editor to do that. % sure of it that they're edited. They got claimed, and they edited the videos out to take the music out and do other things to swap in other music and stuff. They are edited. For 100%, I'm 100% sure of it that they're edited. They're not the original versions at all. Updated and changed thumbnails to modern ones at the current algorithm.
What is this?
Okay.
Oh my God, I'm confused.
Really? ARG says they didn't edit the videos. They updated and changed thumbnails to modern ones that the current algorithm favors. No, that's not true. They did edit them because the original videos had copyrighted music that eventually got claimed, and they edited the video.
Who are
Have
they?
a good stream. Thank you, Beaver Bother, for it. So I don't even get views on my own original content because they steal it immediately.
Oh.
So I'm just happy to be someone who's so well supported by you guys on streams, because if it weren't for you, I'd be out of business. But between the theft and the changes on YouTube,
there's no theft, because that would imply that we're taking the videos off his channel, like he doesn't have them anymore and we have them. That's not what's going on.
No way that I could make a living doing this if it weren't for you guys. I hope you understand that. Beaver Bother is back. Tipped $1.50. He says, I finished DK yesterday. Eventually got.
Okay, I'm assuming he's talking about the trolls.
Can we get to halfway?
Like, I don't know. I don't know.
All right, cool. All right, that gets us up as our next. I want to remind you all, no for that stream. A couple quick, and I just got a $1 tip. Are getting search results anymore as length. Your YouTube
Dude, it's so embarrassing. These people are trying to help him understand the algorithm. Isn't this his job? Shouldn't he know?
Someone says a big part of the reason your old content doesn't get views or get in search results anymore is length. Your YouTube goes by watch time now, not views. Most of your old content is 15 minutes or less per video. And think about how dumb that is. Change their fact, but you bruised it. I'm playing everybody the show.
All right, that's it. What a terrible podcast. I don't know why. I wanted to vibe check to see what he was going to talk about, and then I made the terrible mistake of watching it. Sorry, guys, but I gotta go, so this is gonna be a very quick ending because I have a figure drawing session to go to tonight. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.